Ah, they think I'm late. I'm not late. But we are live. Just sorting out my drinks. Did I tell you, Chili? We had an estate agent ring us up, and they tried to scam us. Fake estate agent pretending to help move us. Kind of pretending that there's someone from the council. And then I said, cool, well, our council advisor is going to have to contact you to make the payments. And then they blocked us.
Well, it's not that much of a scam, but I tried to book a place in London for Saturday. And I used my my temporary card instead of my actual card, because I made one just for in case. And they charged me, and then said, oh, your number's wrong. And then when I tried to do it again, they were going to charge me again on top of that. Even though the first one didn't go through because my phone number was supposed to be wrong.
The scoundrels.
I mean, I got the money back, but still, it's frustrating to see that, you know.
I know, man.
Don't charge and then be like, oh no, we can't accept because your number's wrong. Check the number first, then charge.
Yeah. Just don't say any of the numbers. We are live.
Yeah. I mean, I get enough scam texts and calls and what else are there?
Just getting a few things ready, and then we can start. But hey, at least I was on time, right?
Yeah.
And more importantly, I got the character I wanted on my gacha game as well.
Nice.
I am happy. Let's bring up the Nintendo Direct though, because I just didn't get time to watch it. It was really crazy. I sat down already, and it's like, hey, we need you in this meeting with the client. I'm like, do you really need me though? Like, do you really need me?
I mean, we all know the next one's the most important one anyway.
I know, but still, did they really need me?
I mean, of course they did. You're chaos. They really need you.
Alright, that's no, not that one. That one. Alright, I think we should be all set. Just gonna go grab one thing and I'll be right back, and then we can good to go.
How is chat doing today? Hope you're doing well. Hey Bullet, hi Diablo, hi Gaming, hey Brandon, hey Woodpit. How's everyone doing today? Hey John. How's your day going? I'm enjoying it a lot, Bullets. I'm going to be writing a review. I hope to get the review done. I've finished the story. I'm probably going to get the review done before I finish the story, but I'm hoping to get a review done for early Monday, Tuesday as a video. So there won't be any spoilers for the well. I don't want to say there's no spoilers because I'm going to be showing gameplay from early on in the game. But I mean, the anime's how long old now? In reality, I shouldn't be saying there's no spoilers because yeah. So I'm enjoying it. I'm not sure if I could. I don't know if I could recommend it for a lot of people because there is a lot of stuff that's missing from the game, and it does feel a bit sluggish at times for certain characters. But yeah, if you like Bleach and you like 2D fighters, it's definitely more of a traditional 2D fighter than it is an arena fighter. So I do like some of the special quotes and stuff like that when you pick specific characters that fight each other as well. The last season might not be dropping this year, Brandon. I've been hearing next year, so we'll see. And none of the Thousand Blood Year War stuff is actually in the game. The game only goes up until Fate Kurotown. You know when Aizen go and Aizen fight.
Are we ready?
That's where the game ends. There's no Fullbringers or anything like that. There is some costumes, but that's it.
I am not late, Ghosty. We are starting right now. Yo, how's it going? I heard some news down the grapevine that PlayStation gone third party. Don't know what's going on though.
I don't know where you heard that.
I just heard all the rumors that PlayStation going third party, putting all their games on Switch and PlayStation.
No.
And PC. Of course they're going to put it on PlayStation.
PC.
And Switch.
I mean,
Apparently.
about that. If you're talking about the game, I think it is.
Apparently there's 3 of them.
Not really, no.
Hey, look, they're PlayStation
I know
IPs.
2 of them.
They're PlayStation IPs, first party IPs. So there's no.
Yeah. Not first party IDs that are published by Namco.
Hey, they're still first party.
Eh,
It's still first party IPs.
they're owned by Namco.
I might need to turn up Chili. Yes, I do need to turn up Chili.
Moving the goalposts again. No, I'm just saying that if it's the game
Guys,
I think
it's
he's
happening.
talking about.
I mean, if you saw the mental gymnastics from Lono today, my God, that was special. Oh my God, Lono's mental gymnastics. Honestly, it was like he was trying to work out the algorithm for the universe. That's how much he was actually trying to. I mean, at the end of the day, the basic. I saw this other guy called Michael Aguera. And he wrote I think he's now decided that he's gonna take the a leaf out of Nibs's writing techniques.
Oh no!
And he wrote like 5 tweets worth of long messages, right? Trying to prove that PlayStation isn't third party. When the only question I have to ask is, if a game made by Sony is on another platform, you're no longer exclusive. You're a third-party publisher. You may still do first-party exclusive, timed exclusive, but you're a third-party publisher. Move that goalpost.
No, I'm not going to move that goalpost. That's true.
Hey, Chris, Bullets, Brandon, Telos, Kenneth. How goes it? Welcome back, dude. Long time. It's been a hell of a day today. Like I said, falling asleep during a client meeting probably and snoring probably wasn't the best thing to do. I'll tell you that. But you know what? We're gonna ride that train. Oh, so how is everyone? How's your Dragon Ball endeavors, Chili?
Very good. I've been playing a lot of Bleach recently. That's been doing really well. So I've been uploading the Bleach content pretty much daily. I did do a Dragon Ball video yesterday just to break it up a little bit, but I've been good, thank you. My gacha games have been pretty good. So yeah, Gorty, you'll find out soon.
Yes, you will. And thank you very much for that 6-month membership. We're going to check out the Nintendo Direct because apparently it all went down in the Nintendo Direct. I don't really know much about it. Like I said, I didn't get to watch it.
Some highs, some confusion by a lot of people. Hey, Chris, we saw Baby Steps at the the Future Game Show.
Oh, that's Stream Elements. Wait, why the hell is it telling you that? Oh well, you know what, Ghosty, I'll take £100 a show. It's fine.
That's more than Raid Shadow Legends gives.
I know.
I think they're like £22 or something.
Oh, is it? You know what? I'll be fair. I'll just take the 20.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited. It was a
Wait,
showcase that existed.
Wait, you posted I got a 5080? That might not...
Ah,
I didn't get a 5080. I mean, I kind of want one.
did you buy a 5080, Chaos?
No, I didn't. What's he...
Look at Chaos being. He's trying to get people to pay him for sponsors, then buy. Man, I'm sure getting some flashback to someone else. Man.
Hey, that's a 4080. I'm getting betrayed here.
Haley.
He's posting the 4080. Yeah, I'm not even gonna get into that. Apparently, I won't like Atomfall because it defaults the difficulty to the second hardest mode, and we all know he only plays games. I'll stick. I'm playing Assassin's Creed at the moment, and I am absolutely loving it.
He sold his old graphics card to his son to afford the 5080. Man, Chaos, what are you doing? I bet you sold it for a Galaxy bar and and a Freddo. Or one set of eggs in America, which is almost the price of a graphics card at this point.
So there's a lot of discourse going on with Assassin's Creed right now, right? A lot of people.
Yeah, I haven't got to play it much, which sucks.
It's really good, dude. It's really, really
I've only got
good.
through the tutorial, so with Bleach stuff and because patch for 14 dropped, I've had, So yeah, I want to get back to it, but it's one of the things where I don't want to play it story-wise off stream. I want to do the story on stream, but I've only at the story bit right now. So once I get to the open world, I'll start playing it offline on my own. So I'm excited. But your thoughts on it? Sorry, I'm looking forward to.
My thoughts? It's just amazing. I mean, there are a couple of things that I don't like about it, and I know why it's there because people like to have their color-coded gear items for their weapons, but the simplicity of Ghost of Tsushima, I think, would have done this game way more justice with the weapons. You know, they just give you a weapon and you upgrade that weapon throughout your journey. And I would have preferred that instead of the green, blue, purple, gold colored weapon system. I just don't think every game needs that. The actual armor sets.
It's weird it's weird that that's a thing that every game picks up. Like that was Borderlands, right? That did that first, kind of.
Yeah.
So I can't think of any game that did it before then, really. I'm sure there are games, but Borderlands, in my opinion, is the first one I think of. Destiny was after Borderlands.
Was it?
Yeah, Borderlands was like the 2000s, right?
Hey, Paul. But yeah, I mean, I just think it's not needed.
2009.
Right. Yeah. I just don't think it's needed. And it just adds an unnecessary kind of grind to the whole thing that you don't need. And I think just sometimes, a jeans and t-shirt is enough, if that makes sense. You don't need to add the blazer and then add the tie and add the shirt. Sometimes just going out there with a jeans and t-shirt is enough, and I think these game developers need to kind of understand that. And I don't think they've got to that point. But the gameplay is really good. The music is awesome. You should see me. I am like a ninja in that game. I pretty much run through every castle, aggro everything, and end up dying, but it's great. I'm pretty much a Naruto wannabe at this point.
Let's go. As you said, it's basically like a modern day Tenchu.
Yeah, if you're playing as Naoe. But I've got to the point now where I can switch over to Yasuke. Dude's a beast. He's just a monster. Absolute monster.
So it's basically what you're saying is you got Omni. I'm gonna say butcher the name. Omni-Yushu. Yeah, the other Capcom. The Capcom. Yeah, and then you've also got Tenchu in like a bundled game.
Yeah,
basically,
and it just works so well. They complement each other so brilliantly.
They make it simple.
Hey, Make It Simple, how's it going? That's Kel's philosophy going to weddings as well? No.
Man,
No.
the fact that he has clothes on at the weddings is a big shocker sometimes.
I mean, there is truth in that. There is truth in that. So what do we open up with, Chili? That it
The
turns
Nintendo
out
thing is quite long, so I would
Is it really
probably
long?
recommend that.
it's 30
It's
minutes.
about 40 minutes.
I'm looking at
No.
the video here. I've got a video. It's 35 minutes.
That's it. Yeah. What's up with your mic, mate? What's wrong with my mic?
You're kind of going a little roboty every so often, but it's nothing. It's not that big of a deal. But it turns out, Chili, that after all the review bombing, right, chat? Just let me cook for a second. It turns out that after all the review bombings for Xbox games and all the trash talking of Xbox games, it turns out you guys actually do like Xbox games.
By the way, I've turned off echo cancellation. Maybe that was causing some issues with crashing with my own one. Is this any better? Hello?
Yeah, it sounds better.
Okay. Because this had echo cancellation. I already have echo cancellation. And my mic has it, so maybe turning that off would have fixed something.
But yeah, it turns out you guys actually really like Xbox games. So all that talk about Indiana Jones being trash and Forza being trash and all of this being trash.
Okay.
I was it all a coping mechanism?
I mean, I don't like the look of any of those games, so...
And look, you're the spokesperson for the pony community.
Yeah, and I told you can keep Starfield, and you can keep Indiana Jones. For
But
us, I'd
that's-
like, please,
But
but
that's
the rest...
that's not what your stables are saying,
You said
man.
You just said I'm the spokesman, and I've said what I want.
But the
I just want
stables aren't.
Forza.
But look at it. Look at it across Europe. The stables aren't saying that. By the way, has anyone seen J-Dub? Because apparently he's gone missing. He's gone missing after his post today saying that all Xbox games are going to be on Switch, and then it turned out it was the complete opposite.
Wow.
He's gone into hiding.
Paul says that Indie's amazing.
It is. It's a really good. It was my game of the year.
Yeah, I'm roboting a lot. I'm just going to restart if that's okay.
Yeah, go for it. Secondary protocol. What are you even talking about? Why you do this? Look. Stating he pre-ordered Indie Collector's Edition. Hey, the Collector's Edition is actually quite nice. It looks like we've got some Ubisoft news. Ubisoft is forming a new subsidiary company in partnership with Tencent. The subsidiary is valued at $4.3 billion and includes IPs like Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six. Tencent is investing a 25% stake in the company. What the hell's this all about? Wait, Reforge was turned down? That doesn't surprise me. Oh, Gorsty, that was ridiculous. They gave them a physical that doesn't work. How do you put a physical that doesn't work? But yeah. I think Sony now are the second biggest in Japan. Not globally, of course, but they've got a good footholding in Japan. Well, Division 3 is in development, right? At least that's what they last said. So I don't know if that's still the case. I mean, to be honest, Bags, I'm surprised they haven't done Assassin's Creed Mobile yet. Right? I would have thought that they would have done it by now. It's like the other day I was thinking about actually signing up to Ubisoft Plus because I'm not even sure if the deal's still on for on Xbox because they were doing like £80 for the year, and I honestly couldn't think of the value for it. I mean, obviously, Assassin's Creed Shadows alone is worth that money. It's £100 for Assassin's Creed after all. But when I was looking at the catalog, I just couldn't see anything there. No Splinter Cell, coming out. No, nothing really. It's going to be interesting to follow. But Assassin's Creed is actually doing really, really well. And it is only a little behind Valhalla, which is crazy because Valhalla was cross-gen and released at probably the height of internet, well, not internet, but, games boom. But it's their second biggest launch. And when you look at the circumstances with Valhalla, that had everything going for it. It had the pandemic. It had everyone being at home playing games. It released at the perfect time. Everyone was all over it. And it was cross-gen. Assassin's Creed Mirage is a mobile game, yeah. But adapted better on consoles and PC. Chili's gone to restart his PC, and now that you reminded me, he was actually sitting there patiently waiting. I didn't even see him. He didn't even care to nudge me.
Hello?
Hello. You have returned.
Now you're breaking up for me.
I'm good.
Maybe it wasn't me all along.
It was always you. Hey, look. Hey, what's going on? Chili? Chili, can you hear me? Hey, chat. Let's do this. Do this. Let's do that. Get that up. Where's Chili? Or you can eat Chinese for lunch today? Damn. Sorry, my internet just had a massive hiccup. Yeah, my internet just completely farted just now.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that the mic issues wasn't my side then.
Nah, it was totally your side. What do you mean late? Not much, Power Boss. We only just got started before my internet decided to have a massive fart.
Your internet tricked me to think my microphone was broken and I had fully reset my laptop.
Do you know what? Good. This is the guy, by the way. This is the guy that tricked everyone to think that Assassin's Creed on Xbox was Play Anywhere.
Wow.
He is the director at Xbox Integrated Marketing, leading brand. And look, he says here, also, I promise it supports Play Anywhere. He came out after the game was released.
Paul, the thing is, I don't think I was lagging. I was connecting to Chaos, and then because of Chaos's lag, it made my...
Yeah, Power Boss, gonna watch it live now. But South of Midnight is landing very soon. It's 4K,
Nice.
60 FPS on my Samsung fridge. So this is going to be amazing. I'm expecting 8K, 120 FPS on my Series X.
Good luck.
What do you mean, good luck? Everyone knows that the Xbox is capable of that and even more. But before we actually get into the Nintendo Direct, you're fully aware, Chili, about the news about, what is it? Actually, let me get this video file up as well. Yeah, got some gameplay for you all.
Rainbow, is that Rainbow Six?
This is Splinter Cell with a bit of Ghost Recon and some Assassin's Creed thrown in. See, right now it's basically Assassin's Creed in wearing a military outfit, running with a sniper rifle.
Which, to be fair, could be a future Assassin's Creed game for all we know.
This is actually but I mean, you've heard the news about I actually had a video coming out today. I was trying to get it out, but it kept on getting demonetized because I was using 8 seconds of music for memes in total throughout the whole video, and it still got demonetized. So I guess I'm gonna have to release it tomorrow now. But it looks like Sony might be playing a different ball game, a different card game. Because if you look at this, people are now, analysts are predicting that the PS6 might land in 2027 in time with the Series X. Well, the next Xbox.
I mean, the 6 was always going to be dropping 2027, right?
No, it was not.
I mean, I've been saying 2027 for a long time.
No, Sony have said themselves multiple times that they don't have any plans to release it before 2028 at the earliest. This is, Totoki saying this, and that's at the earliest. But they would like to try and stretch it till 2030, and that's why the PS5 Pro exists. To bridge that gap to at least 28. But it looks like after the talk with Xbox and Steam, Sony might be having a different idea.
I mean, I was expecting 2027/2028 anyway. Because when I say 2027, I'm expecting November to December, which technically is almost 2028. But I've always been expecting, because most PlayStation consoles are 7 years, right?
No, they go to 10. They try to hit 10.
No, they do 7.
That's the PlayStation 7, not the other PlayStations.
No, PlayStation has always been 6 to 7 years.
The PS2
And then
lasted for donkeys.
No, they released the console out, and then they support it for another 2 to 3 years afterwards.
Okay.
But the new console's always 6
2
years.
to 3 years after. Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
So 1996 was PS1, 2001 was PS2, 2006-7 was the PS3, 2013-14 was the PS4. It's around 6 to 7 years. And 2027 would be the 7-year mark.
The last PlayStation 2 game released
Yeah.
was in 2014.
There you go. That breaks even your 10-year mark.
Was it that one? When was Treasures of Acturgon released?
That was like 20. That was it. Oh, I didn't that right.
Was it Acturgon?
Treasures of Ogun was like.
That was 2006.
2006.
There's another one that got released.
You talk about
Japan.
Wings of the Goddess?
No, it wasn't Wings. It was
No.
the other one.
The Rhapsodies? I don't think.
No. It was the one in the new area.
I don't think that. Why are we talking about PS2 Final Fantasy 11 game expansions anyway?
Because that was the last game to release. There you go. Final Fantasy XI's PS2 service, 2016.
Yeah. But I don't
That's
think they
a
had the
long time.
expansion before then.
Yeah. So it lasted longer than 10 years.
Yeah.
I just
But I'm
wanted to
just
prove
saying
my
that
point.
on average, the console, though, the console cycle is 6 to 7 years before hardware refresh.
But yeah, Sony wants the PS5 to last well, they wanted it to last to 2028 to 2020. That's the whole point of the PS5 Pro. So now you're getting basically like what, 2 years for the PS5 Pro? You paid 800 quid for a 2-year console. That kind of feels shitty.
It's shitty, but I mean that's what I expected.
Nah, man, come on.
Why do you think I didn't invest in the pros?
The PS4 one lasted for a long time. You guys are getting milked like there's no tomorrow. Stop making excuses for the company. They should not be doing this. They sell these products with a certain expectation, and then they say, "All right, now we've got your money,
it was 4
suckers."
years. You're right. Well, yeah, it was 4 years between the Pro and the 5.
Yeah, I mean, that's 3-4 years is what I expect. It's a mid-gen refresh.
Yeah. Well, as I said, if it was aiming for 2028 like originally, that's still 3 years, which is only 1 year different. Big
Fresh
Orba
is getting a battering at the moment, isn't he? Poor guy.
Chili's opinions. Yeah, the thing is, though, like, no, if we were talking previous generations, I think I would agree with you more, Chaos. But considering the fact that we're still getting games from last gen now, means that even when this PS6 comes out, all the games that are coming out on the PS6 are all going to be on PS5 and the PS5 Pro. So I don't like I would, if it was like before where like most of the games were cancelled on last gen and gone straight to next gen, I would probably agree with you a lot more than I am now. But being the fact that you could probably go through most of the next gen without upgrading at all and still be able to play the games that you want to play, not the best quality, of course, means that the reason to upgrade is a lot less than it was in the past. They could release the PS6 next year, and they'd still get PS5 games until 2035 probably. So, who knows? Maybe Into the Galactic will be out by then.
Intergalactic is a whole new bloody ball game.
They just announced that it won't be in 2026.
Yeah, I think it was Jason Schreier, right? I mean, I knew that wasn't coming 26. I don't even think that's coming in the PS5's era. But
I mean, it's going to come on the PS5.
I mean, that's if they make it cross-gen, right?
Every
But I
game's
think,
going to
but I think
most games are going to be cross-gen. I don't want to say every game, of course,
but
because
PS6 will be out before that game is made.
yeah.
So that's going to be
will,
a
probably.
whole generation where Naughty Dog has done absolutely nothing.
Yeah. By the way, they were actually working on Intergalactic at the same time as The Last of Us. They had two different studios working on the project.
That's impossible. PlayStation fans assured me that Naughty Dog can't do two things at once.
No, they would somehow. Supposedly they have a third thing as well.
Like I've
They
been
haven't announced
assured
yet.
by Hiroki Tatoki himself. He rang me up personally to tell me that it's impossible for that studio to do more than one game at a time.
Well,
I mean, he's
they're
got me
doing
on speed
3.
dial.
So they're doing 3 games. There's a third one that they're working on.
So what you're saying is that the PlayStation community is full of crap.
Yeah. And
Okay.
this is someone that's.
So what you're saying is they are full of bona fide crap when they say, we wanted to make this game, but it would require a full development team to only work on this one game. When in
Like
all reality...
as you know, I just like I support Sony a lot more. But the community can sometimes be, yeah. I know I'm a pony, nay, but I also know game development, kind of, even though I don't do it, just because I hang around with so many people that do it. Chili, stop yourself now. Stop myself from what? Telling the truth.
Good old Seth. How are you doing, buddy?
Hey, Seth. I'm not a pony. I am a pony, trust me. I tried to behave on this podcast, but trust me, I am a pony.
He is. If you see him on X, he will argue till he's black and blue.
Yeah, I am a pony. I just tried to behave on stream because I know that this isn't the audience to act like that. And I think that I would rather respect Chaos's audience and respect everyone's intelligence than act completely like a pony.
I think you
Fake
should
pony.
just act like a pony.
Nah, I don't know. Nah, I'm good. What's your next tweet? MG_Chili. Which, by the way, I'm about to mute one of my own tweets because it's doing too well.
Which one is
Have you ever had that?
Why would you? Oh yeah. I've muted tons.
Someone made a joke about Hercule surviving what do you call it? Cell being Hercule surviving Boo, and then I put a clip of Hercule surviving Omega Shenron from GT, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I put as a clip, and it's now at 73,000 views and 4.1k likes. So,
Damn.
my most viral tweet of all time. It's slowed down now, but at one point it was just like I was like, "Oh, I got a notification." Not really. The notification is just that someone liked the tweet. Okay, well, I got a notification. No, I haven't. Okay, no, I got another notification. It's just someone liking that damn tweet again. Worst part is I tried to advertise myself afterwards, but I didn't get any engagement. Yeah, Sappho's right. This generation will be around for 7 to 8 years at least.
I mean,
Paul,
it could.
how many times have I said that I don't like Last of Us? Even though I own it.
I think I'm the only person in this lobby that actually likes Last of Us. I must be.
Yeah.
I think I'm literally the only one in here.
And I bought it, by the way. MGR_Chili.
By the way, Chili, if you didn't know, the Euro Millions is £202 million this Friday.
Maybe I should do one. Maybe I should buy a ticket.
You should, and if you win, send me some money.
If I win, I'll send you 10%.
I'll take it. I'll even take 1% at this point.
But you have to allow me to be on the show all year. That's the deal.
But yeah, like the PlayStation 6 is... I mean, now they're talking about it coming 2027. And honestly, I think that the more this news that Xbox and Steam collaboration... Because, you know, they're not I mean, I don't even know what Jez and Colt were even talking about when they were saying that Sony can block it. They really can't. If it's running on the System 32 API, it's basically a Windows. They're not, for them to turn around and start differentiating Windows, they're not going to block it. And then, and then them using GeForce Now as the reason. I'm like, are you even serious? Are you like?
Yeah. That's a licensing thing more than anything, right?
But Steam and Valve, I mean, Steam pays for the license.
No, GeForce Now, I mean.
Yeah, GeForce Now. Yeah, that's exactly the point. GeForce Now isn't exactly like cloud. They actually pay for a license to have those games to be streamed. So that's a completely different service. And, Steam and Valve, or Valve, I guess, they, from what I've read, they pay a nominal license fee to have the game on their store. And then they take revenues from the sales and give the revenue to the publisher. But what Steam doesn't say, once it's on Steam, it will work on any computer that can run Steam. They won't block it. It's not within their terms of service. So Sony would have to go break that agreement with them, take all their games back, just so their next Xbox, which is going to be a PC, won't run it. That doesn't make any sense.
I mean, at that point, it's just a PC, and Sony doesn't care about PC.
Apparently now
which is interesting.
It's really weird because depending on the month, they either care. So you've got fans, right? PlayStation fans who will say, in January, they're absolutely competition, but then halfway through January, you'll be like, nah, they're not competition. But then at the beginning of February, they're competition again. It's almost like...
So what you're saying, PC is like the gamer's time of the month?
Exactly, make it simple. I've been saying Boosteroid all the while, because Boosteroid doesn't actually stream the game. It streams the actual PC. You connect to a virtual machine, and then you can run that virtual machine through the cloud. And you can do anything you want. There's just no... And if Sony was going to block it, they would have blocked it by now, because people are using Boosteroid to play PlayStation games through the cloud on their Xbox. It's a bit long-winded, but they're still doing it. And as far as Sony's concerned, they're still making money, so I just don't see it happening. And I honestly think that Jez and Colt were just engagement baiting. I mean, even John from Xbox Era and Tom Warren came out and told them both, you are wrong. Because they are wrong. They are factually wrong. If the hardware is running on a System 32... I mean, they started talking about the overlay having an API. Like, what the hell are they talking about? It's just an overlay. It's just a skin that basically does stuff. It's so crazy. I don't get it. It's just not going to happen. But I think Sony is watching this very closely. Their idea...
I mean, they're smart enough. I know it's smart to do that, really. Like, you're not...
No, it's
competition. I'm sure they're also paying some attention to the Switch too. Not in the same way they're doing with this, but, like, it's still some competition. And
because the way I'm seeing it, Sony is looking at this now and seeing how it develops. And they're looking at it and saying, right, let's see how this works out for Xbox. Because generally, that's been the Sony motto. Let Xbox do it first. Let them go through all the trials and tribulations. And once they've sorted it, we'll then come in with like a finished product that's on par with them.
I would say
they won't go through the growing pains.
More let other companies, because it's not just Xbox.
I don't know, but I'm just saying as a direct competition.
Yeah.
They let the direct competition... It's like Android and iPhone, right? Android always gets the features out first, but they're always kind of like backwater ready. They're not really, completely done or ready, or they're not like in the perfect condition. Then Apple comes along like a year later, and it's working so much better, or it comes out in like a complete form.
iPhone.
Right? But that's been the Apple way, and I see Sony doing the same thing. They're watching what's happening now, and I think a lot of this actually now makes sense, that they released the Pro, to watch what Microsoft is doing. Because, you don't spend 70 billion, 10 billion, and continue to look to spend even more because they're still in the market to buy more publishers. You don't spend all that money without expecting any return or having a grand plan, in the pipeline. So Sony clearly are watching what Microsoft is doing. And I think the PS5 Pro released to buy them time to see what Microsoft is doing. And this 2027 news that's come about was a bit of a shock because maybe they've seen or heard enough where they've realized now that having a completely closed off system, I mean, they're not technically closed off anyway anymore, but having the old way probably just isn't the way forward anymore. I mean, the fact that they're releasing more games on the Switch and PC all the time is testament to that. You look at all the other PlayStation consoles, that was never a thing. But you're looking now with the PS5, and it's a thing, and they're doing it more and more. And I mean, Siren should be out this year. It's a reboot of a PS3 game, completely redone from ground up, and that is releasing day and date on PC and thing, and that's a single player game. Now people are going to try and spin that and whatever way. At the end of the day, I remember a time when Herman Hulst said no single player games will ever release day and date, and yet we're seeing it more and more.
I'll be honest, I remember when people said that no single player games would release on PC at all.
Yeah, there was that time as well. They started off by saying no games will be ever going to PC. Then they said live service games will be day one to PC, but no single player games. Then single player games went to a 2-year cadence, then to a 1-year cadence. Then remasters became available day one. Reboots are now available day one. Third-party contracts with publishers are available day one. You can see the trajectory that Sony is going. They're just going at that trajectory really, really slowly, but they're going the same way. But, being a Japanese company, they don't like taking big strides. It's part of their culture. They like to take it, small strides, but controlled strides. Like even the Portal that they've released right now, in my opinion, is a full-on test. And, it's probably the best thing that they've done in terms of getting games in onto another platform without the PS5. Because now, technically, you can play PlayStation 5 games without a PS5. The Portal now plays PS5 games. Even though it's through the cloud, you can play your PS5 games without a PS5. You don't need a PS5 to play your PS5 games anymore. Because the Portal is supporting more and more games, and more games are landing on their day one through the cloud. And that's a great thing, but what it's doing, unlike what Microsoft did, releasing it to every single mobile Android under the sun, which is really difficult to control in a testing environment, they've released it in a controlled environment on one platform. But you can bet your bottom dollar the next evolution of that is to mobile devices.
Yeah, I agree.
It's going to happen.
Oh.
I promise you, Paul, it
you
wasn't
talked about Apple earlier.
And it's going to happen.
By the way, you mentioned about Apple earlier.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the YouTuber off the top of my head, but there's a YouTuber that I like that every time the new iPhone is announced, he just uploads the same video again, but redubs over it. And the quality's got worse every year because he's just used the same footage.
Yeah.
So where he keeps dubbing over and over again, it's getting degraded. So yeah, he just uploads the same video and he's like, the new iPhone 16 has been announced. It'll have a camera.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's like my brother. I don't understand why he upgrades every year. Like, every year he upgrades. He's like a full Apple fanatic.
So I'll be honest, every time a new iPhone comes out, I just go watch the video because it makes me smile every time.
I just have a phone that lasts me like, 4 years, 5 years, maybe 6. And then I go and I hand it down to one of the kids and I say, look, here's your new phone. I go buy another second-hand phone from Amazon or something, or eBay. I mean, I think the most I spend on the mobile phone now every 4 or 5 years is about £250. I don't actually exceed that. And they last me for 4 or 5 years. I don't play any games on them because I just don't need to. I mean, back in the day, I used to play a lot of games.
I play a lot of gacha games.
I've just got other things to do that on. And it's gotten to the point now where the screens and the touch screens, I just don't enjoy it. It needs to have a controller layout, much like this one. Apparently the Backbone is back in town, baby! That is the Backbone, and it comes with 1 month of Game Pass. The only problem is it's £100. Or is it 110?
Yeah, it should come with at least a couple of months of Game Pass at that price.
That's ridiculous. They literally just have one button. They colored these. I mean, I like the color of the bone, but
yeah, it's Master Chief. It's off original Xbox.
Yeah, I really like the color that they've gone with, and I kind of really want one, and I don't know why I want one, but I do. But they've literally just, got a fine tip paintbrush and just painted the logo on it and said, right, it's getting £50 in value.
No, it's about that price, right? It's close to 100 anyway.
It's just crazy. And the cost is $4,000. Bags.
I don't think the Backbone's much cheaper than that.
Gacha games are great.
But yeah, no, never mind. The Backbone's £50. You're right.
Yeah, but for this one, they painted it a little.
Oh no, the Android one is £100. The Gen 2 100. Okay, iPhone is £50. Android is 100.
No one wants it because you can't play anything. Do you think Sony speeds up the release of PS6? I think they might do. I think, this year is going to be really big, right? The GDC hasn't happened yet, has it? It's coming up.
No.
So I think with the GDC and whatever Microsoft announces by the end of this year, because I think they are going to do another announcement, or maybe even during the summer, I think Sony is going to be watching that very intently. And depending on what they do and what partnerships get announced, and if they do kind of go down, which I believe they will, down the PC route, it doesn't make sense for them to release a traditional console anymore. Just business-wise, financial-wise, it just doesn't make sense. There's no real reason for them. And they've been working on getting, the OG Xbox 360 and the series games. Well, the series games don't matter because they're on PC anyway. But they've been working on getting those other two working on Windows 11 for a virtual machine, much like Android games work. So they've been working on that for a number of years now. And it's actually up and running from what I've been told. Just it's not in the proper state that it should be. But once they get that working on a minimum spec, then there's literally no reason for them to have a traditional console. Because as long as your catalog will work on that machine, all your games will work on that machine, that is an Xbox. End of story. And it will run it natively. That's all that matters. And I think, going down that route, it makes sense. And Sony is going to be looking at this very carefully to see what Microsoft is doing. Because clearly, they are still scared of Microsoft. The fact that they're announcing these games over to the Switch and skipping Xbox, they still see Microsoft as the big bad. That much is clear. They're not, they're not waving the, victory flag. They're still worried of what Microsoft is going to do because they have no clue what Microsoft is going to do and what impact having, other launches on your platform will bring. Like I was saying in my previous stream, my kid who was a console gamer switched to PC. When I told him he came and spoke to me about this whole Steam thing, wanted to know more about it. And his response was, as long as it runs 60 FPS and I can run my older, his old catalog of Xbox games and his Steam games on that one box, he would make the switch from PC to that box. He's not too fussed about the overall visual quality as long as he's happy to knock down the graphics as long as he can hit 60 FPS, and that's why he preferred PC over Xbox, because it gives you that flexibility. If you're if you're running at 1440p and it's giving you 30, he's happy to knock it down to 1080p. If he can't run it on high and has to drop it down to minimum, as long as he can hit that 60 FPS, he's happy. And that's generally how PC gamers think. The majority of them anyway. And so if Xbox, the new one, gives them that option where the games will run at 60 and give them the catalog of both, he actually said he would make the switch. And I'm sure there are lots of people out there like him. Devil Shooter, I think I saw that. That's like that turn-based game, right? I think it's that turn-based game. Let me see if I can find it. It looked kind of cool. Righto. I know it's coming to Xbox as well. Yeah, here it is. Let me play it without the audio because I'm sick of getting demonetized. Well, then again, I'm going to get demonetized for the Nintendo thing. I still can't believe I got demonetized for a 12-minute video for 7 seconds. But this is Righto is back, remastered. I'm surprised this is actually landing on Xbox, to be fair.
No, because it's Atlas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Atlas have been good job supporting Xbox, haven't they, recently?
They have, but then again, you look at Square Enix, who said they're fully behind Xbox, and then they announced Saga 2, and there's no Xbox port.
I mean, it's only been announced for Switch.
No, PlayStation, PC, well? Everything,
okay.
Just exclusively not on Xbox.
I mean, they're going to support Xbox, right?
But, and this is why I said, like, the traditional console doesn't make sense for Microsoft anymore, and making it a PC would mean that none of it really matters, because all of these games would natively work on the Xbox console because it's running. It'll be able to run Steam, so none of it would ever skip. Of course, it won't be on the Xbox Store, but at that point, Microsoft would be more interested in selling Game Pass than they would anything else. They're going to want more people on the service.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, they've been saying that for the longest time anyway. That's nothing new.
I mean, it's coming to... Oh, yeah, this one is coming to Xbox. But Saga isn't. Anyone want that deluxe edition? It look kind of cool. But, yeah, the Backbone is way too expensive. If it was like $49.99, I'd probably pick one up just to play around with. But I think it's like £110. Well, I think it's 110 euros anyway. It's crazy how expensive it is. It's just
so
stupid,
the same price as... Is that the iPhone, though? Because remember, the iPhone version is cheaper. I don't know if you... do you have Android or iPhone?
I've got an Android.
Good.
I had an iPhone once. I think I had two iPhones. The very first one, the very, very, very first one, and then I think one after that, and that was it. I switched to Android. I was in my anime days back then, where I wanted everything to have like a Sword Art Online menu, and my Apple wouldn't do that. So you could customize your Android interface. So I literally had it with all the sound effects and everything for Sword Art Online.
Oh, that's cool.
Then I went through my whole Star Trek craze and had my whole front screen and menus and everything fully Star Trek. Like when you put it on, it would, the tricorder sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, so every time I received a message, I'd get like the tricorder sound and everything. It's really cool.
That's cool.
What do you think of this before I jump into the Nintendo thing? 3
I mean, it's
million
impressive.
players.
It's impressive.
Now, people are dogging this and saying it's clearly they're only talking about players and not sales numbers.
I mean,
But-
yes, but that makes sense because that's how most companies work nowadays.
But revenue-wise, they were 300k short of Valhalla, and Valhalla made 2.5 million. And like I said, Valhalla was available in cross-gen during CVID and released during the festive season. It had everything going for it. And to be only 300k behind in terms of revenue, not copies sold, but overall revenue. Because I'm sure a chunk of, I'd say at least maybe 500,000 of that is on UB Plus. But that is still revenue for that month that's going towards the game.
Yeah, it's good. It is really good.
Paul Majeski, we're about to check it out now. But Powerboss, yeah, you're right. It does include that. But at the same time, the same thing could be said about Game Pass games, right? We'll look at how many players they've got, but really how many people are actually buying those games.
A lot of people
Early
don't
access-
buy them. They use it as a rental set. They use it just to play the game.
The
They
majority,
don't buy
yeah.
it.
Early access is one thing, people are paying for that, so that's still revenue,
Yeah.
but they don't actually own the game. I mean, I know from my experience that I've cut down buying games because I just don't need to. I go into shops and I look at the games and I'm like, I don't really need to spend the money. Certain games I want to own, and I will own them, but that's just for the sake of me saying I own them, and they're just on my shelf.
Yeah.
And those ones I generally get the collector's edition. Like, I've got Alan Wake 2 here from Limited Run Games, and a year later they sent me the collector's edition box. So stuff like that I will buy. If I really like it, I'll look into the collector's edition. And yes, it's a lot more money, but they also hold a special place within me.
I'm the same. I don't really buy physical, but if there's a collector's edition I really want, then sometimes I'll purchase it. But normally I go digital now, to be honest.
No, I'm pretty much all digital. My physical collections are, honestly, I think my Switch, which I barely use, has the biggest physical collection for me. I just can't play the games at that FPS on the Switch, so I'm really excited that the Switch 2 is coming out because it'll at least let me start playing some of those
Now-
games.
Some of the wording that we'll talk about later is interesting with the Switch 2 and games, but we'll talk about that later.
Let's jump into it. Let's check it out.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it live. Well, not live, but let's stop
Well,
the
we're
music.
live.
Let's do it now. Let's do it. Oh, I'm so getting demonetized for this. All right, let's do it. God damn it. You play a little bit of music and that's it. Okay, Nintendo, just so you know, I am promoting your stuff. I don't want to hear a door knock 5 minutes into this with a summons for cease and desist.
Nintendo, we like your stuff. We promise to be very positive,
Yes, Nintendo.
kind of.
We're not going to say anything is rubbish.
Kind of.
Maybe, possibly, could be. I'm starting to sound like a Eurogamer journalist. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
You want to join him, Power? Let me bring him in. Let's see. There you go. Mate, I'm expecting Nintendo pretty much to be driving up my street right now.
I can't believe they started with this.
Dragon Quest, right?
Yeah.
No way! They're really going into their HD remakes, aren't they?
Yep.
But what a way to open Nintendo Direct. Right, how many of you in here are actually buying this?
I will. Unless I get a copy, yeah, for stream. But I will.
Today's Nintendo Direct. Today, we'll be providing information on upcoming Nintendo Switch games.
By the way, we can't hear you, Power Boss, if you're talking.
We'll also have a Nintendo Direct for Nintendo Switch 2 on April.
I got people behind me and around me talking at the moment, that's why.
Oh, no worries,
Okay.
dude.
What you just saw was Dragon Quest 1
By the way,
I'm
this
here
was
though,
already
hi.
announced.
2D remake
Hi.
from Square Enix.
This was technically already announced, Chaos, by the way. This was announced when 3 was, but they
Another
never showed
character
anything.
appeared at the end. What kind of adventure awaits?
No, there was a stream later on that did show some of it. Because they announced 1 and 2 at the same time while they were showing 1.
Yeah.
Escape from dire straits.
Dire Straits.
Well, no, because... Yeah.
There's no hope, guys.
2 minutes until oxygen 0.
There's no rescue either. It's over. By the
I
way,
hope
Steve,
Shadow the Hedgehog arrives.
my son is looking forward to tomorrow's 1v1 that we're going to have on the member stream tomorrow.
Series is stirring.
Ooh.
You are Kaname Date, a special agent with a sophisticated AI called Aiba embedded in his left eye. Your mission is to track
Okay.
down Iris, an internet idol who has been trapped in a mysterious
This kind of... I like...
escape
Okay, Bunny Girl, okay, I'm sold.
game. Conduct interviews to
You see,
investigate
someone
Iris's
that gets me.
whereabouts. To reveal clues hidden deep within their psyche
Have you seen Cantarella?
and solve mind-bending
On Wuthering Waves?
No.
explorable environment.
No.
Yeah, check it out.
Everything you learn
Okay.
will bring you one
The
step
official
closer to
Wuthering
the truth.
Waves Discord banned their own trailer because apparently it was too
Wow.
spicy.
To rescue Iris.
Their own trailer. They banned their own trailer.
Somnium Files launches on the Nintendo Switch
How do you
system
ban your
July
own
20th.
trailer? Come on.
Unleash the supernatural.
And yeah, I'm not shocked.
The worst part, right? There was nothing really worth banning it for. All she done was ate a cherry.
Wow.
A
and
classic
that's why they
action
banned it.
RPG returns with remastered HD graphics.
Ah, this is
and
the game you saw
enhanced gameplay.
before this.
Set in the capital city
Yeah.
in the year Taisho 20, Raido Kuzunoha makes his living as an apprentice detective. But unbeknownst to others, he also fights alongside demons.
Atlas is-
He's got his
Atlas is
sonic
amazing.
screwdriver
To protect
from
the capital,
Doctor
Raido
Who.
must investigate a series of supernatural
It still reminds me of
cases. Fight in real time
what's
battles
the-
Saga?
alongside
Yeah.
demons you summon. Work with demons to
Not the
strike
Persona
enemies
game,
with
but the
one.
Persona.
the
They
other
did
one.
say it was
Persona's based
inspired
on.
by Digital Devil Saga, or Devil
there
Summoner.
we go.
You can even turn opposing demons into allies. Demons
Yeah.
can also be useful outside.
Because that even looks like that even looks like a character from
Powers are helpful in finding
Devil Saga. I'm
solutions.
not gonna lie.
Shin Megami Tensei was Jack Frost right there, and same with that little
Yeah.
creepy
Yeah.
Modokai right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna say they look like something from Persona / Devil Saga.
Will shake the capital to its core.
Hey, no spoilers, Paul. I haven't seen this yet. You're ruining
Those
it
two
for
characters were literally out of Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah, Paul, this is his first time watching it. Stop spoiling it. That's not going to happen in this at all. He's lying, Chaos.
Consume
Honest.
darkness.
With your memories gone, you have been summoned to a strange, unfamiliar world, where you're greeted by a yellow orb known as.
Yes! Ah!
But who is this spherical stranger?
Wait, why do you like this?
Mysterious, maze-like world.
I thought this was cool. I remember when we saw this last time. We saw this ages ago.
As Puck guides you on your
I can't remember
journey,
where we saw it, but we
delve
saw this.
deeper into the expansive world.
Remember,
By
it's the...
examining your surroundings,
It's a
the
Metroidvania,
cool,
right?
It's the cool...
and combine with
Yeah, it's the
Puck,
Pac-Man.
explore areas you couldn't
I
reach
didn't see
before.
this before.
Yeah, it's a Pac-Man roguelike.
The creatures inhabiting this world
Hey,
We
this
watched
is
it
one for
together,
Taz.
Chaos.
Did we?
facing
Yeah.
opposing enemies.
Yeah, we watched this game show. I can't remember which one it
Dude.
was, but yeah.
I must have missed it or wasn't paying attention.
Powerful attacks.
Yeah, it's a Pac-Man roguelike. Where oh, sorry,
With giant
Pac-Man.
mechs.
Because
I
Yeah.
want to say it was the VGA
I don't think we saw
Awards.
the mechs originally. Though I think all that is new actually. It looked more like a horror
from
game.
the Amazon
well,
show, right.
Work to uncover
Yeah.
Puck's
Hey, Paul, don't worry about it, dude.
and
Yeah, I don't think there
Wait
was
till you
mechs
see
during the
GTA 6.
Amazon show.
Experience a dark twist on the iconic Pac-Man when
Man.
Shadow Labyrinth launches on Nintendo Switch July.
You know one
18th.
thing I do like about
Also,
Nintendo?
Paul. Paul says that roguelike was a game on the Amazon anime show.
Yeah, but do you know what's the one thing I like
Secret
about
level.
Nintendo showcases?
Remasters
What?
of Patapon
Outside of the fact that this is PlayStation.
drumming onto Nintendo
Um,
Switch
Yeah.
adds one
All
Well,
their
Sony
games
Japan.
that they all the
Now
games
by
that they
Bandai
show.
Namco.
drum to the beat and give
Well, they
fresh
shut down
fans
the
to
studio, right?
Patapon
Place.
Army.
Yeah,
For example,
they probably sold the licenses off.
Patapon
It's still
advances
Sony IP, but
while Puck
all
Not
their
they don't own
the
the
majority
IP.
of their games that they show
them attack.
are releasing this year, the year that they're
Yeah.
showing it, and they're really the only company that generally does that, and I have to give them props for that. You see other companies like showing you games
Well,
that
except
are
for
releasing in
Metroid
20
Prime
years.
4.
I mean, they show one or two, but the majority are coming out this year.
Your battalion to take on
Sony and Microsoft, they show you games that are coming out in 2035. Elder Scrolls
That's
6,
because
I'm
a lot of
looking
the
at
games that Sony and Microsoft showcase that are that old. Well, sorry, that like not old, but that way away are actually just ways for them to promote to get staff to work on the game.
I mean, what
Like,
happened to
it's-
Blade?
launches on Nintendo Switch July 11th.
Blade was announced, what, 2-3 years ago? 4 years ago?
Welcome
Yeah.
to Zephyr
It feels
Town,
like
a cozy
GTA
place
7
nestled in
iOS
the
exclusive.
windswept valley. This is where your new
Ooh, what's
Finally,
this?
this is a game for me.
My son around there is going to love this.
Harvest.
It's-
By the way, I hate the fact that they've got rid of the real original name of this game.
Wasn't it, Hazard something?
It was Harvest Moon.
Harvest Moon, that's it.
Yeah,
Why did they
they
get rid
dropped
of
the
it?
Harvest Moon because I think Harvest Moon was just a dubism. You know, I think it's actually always called Story of the Seasons in Japan, but they dubbed it into Harvest Moon.
Right, for the Western market.
Yeah.
See, my
And now
kids
they've
would
just-
really love this, like around there, because I see them playing games like this all the time with their friends.
It's his first time, so fair.
But
You can also get to know the locals.
but he won't play it because it's on the Switch.
And
He needs it on the PC.
Yeah.
If you find
And I think these
Uh,
games would find such a wider audience if they released it on PC.
Plus, taking advantage
It's
of
like
But then
they
they
just-
can't
they
really
just
sell as much DLC
Can you
because
travel and
the
other
modding
tasks
community
a breeze.
will just add it.
Yeah, but those that are gonna play it on PC would.
The winds
I'm
of
gonna
change are coming,
go to the
and
Switch
your
anyway.
new life on the farm begins
Fair.
when Story of Seasons
I just think the markets are so different
launches
between
on the
PC
Nintendo
and
Switch
console.
system, August 27th.
I do
That-
feel like this is good for handheld though. I don't agree with you. I think this is really. The issue
Switch
is just
is a
the fact
handheld.
that the hardware's so limited. It's both.
It's a
It's a hybrid.
It's a
A hybrid.
handheld. What does the dock actually do?
I mean, I've never took my Switch out of the dock. It's always been in the dock since I bought it.
Yeah, but what does the dock actually do outside of increase the cooling?
It just holds it, right?
And it allows you to run
Yeah.
it at a higher resolution.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
don't think it even does that, right? It doesn't have a fan. It's just the original
does.
dock is just a
Here we
piece
go,
of plastic.
Metroid Prime 4.
Let's go. Wow. This is gonna.
This is the unknown planet Vuro.
You know, I
Planet
might,
Vegeta. I mean, Pluros.
Here, Samus
I just
finds a
feel
frozen
like
jungle with a
this
colossal
probably should
tree
have been
at
a
its center.
Switch 2 release. It probably would have looked so much better.
In order to
I mean,
survive,
I'm not
and
gonna
escape
lie.
this planet,
I'm actually
she's
impressed by the
unexpectedly
visuals.
No,
transported
no, I'm impressed for what it is, but
Samus must scan
I'm
stone figures
I'm
and
disappointed
other
at what it
relics
could
to
have
carve a
been.
path forward.
Yeah.
You know, this could have been.
Do you
pushed
think it's
to the
going to
next
be
level.
a Switch 2 cross title?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
It very well
I think
could.
most of these games announced today are going to be cross tiles.
Abhorrent alien creatures living in the jungle are waiting to strike.
Because there's no way this is running on the original Switch.
This is. That's what you're seeing this now.
Yeah. I'm surprised.
It also runs on the Steam Deck. Nintendo, you didn't hear that.
As she explores the planet, Samus is granted
Bye, Paul.
mysterious
Technically, I've seen this already, so.
powers. Psychic abilities.
Yeah.
These powers allow Samus to operate mechanisms and to open doors.
Yeah. Psychic. You've now become a warlock
Degree of her being
from Destiny, or
with the
you have the
power
Force
of her mind.
from Star Wars.
But why?
This looks
These
really
powers
good, though.
bestowed upon Samus.
Yeah.
But
I
is it going to be
mean,
better?
they could have just said it's telekinesis rather than psychic abilities, because Samus literally is just a normal person in a suit. Notice that they use pronouns she, not they, not them, not any other it pronoun.
I mean, because they've always used she for her, right?
Yes,
they've always used
some
that.
people were trying to change the lore a while back that Samus was a trans character or something.
Threads intertwining
I mean, they're
across
always gonna do that,
space
right?
and time
Yeah.
are beginning
And
to
nothing
unite.
wrong with
never
that.
gonna
Like,
change.
if you,
Well, that's
Like-
why I said it.
Metroid Prime 4
if you
Beyond.
want to, though, I don't see it.
Oh, it is 2025.
Yeah, 2025.
So that is this year as well.
So
Yeah.
I believe that everything that was shown there was Switch 1, but I do think it is going to be one of the biggest
Oh, what's this?
want for the Switch
that
2
new
cross.
suit?
Dark Samus.
Ooh, nice
Yep,
new
you
suit.
see.
Yeah.
Hey, Archangel. Welcome to the show, buddy. Nice seeing you here, man.
Hope everything's good with you, Archangel. I know you said that a while back. Hope things are better.
Let's move on to some more headlines.
Ready to stir up some mischief?
I'm gonna sleep during this part.
Once
Is it that bad?
upon a time, there was a drab coffee shop that transformed into a magical potion cafe. As the newest potionista of the cursed cafe, you'll craft concoctions for Disney villains.
Oh,
and
Disney's
take
pissed
them
right now,
them
ain't
into
they?
new light. Mix ingredients to brew all sorts of strange elixirs.
Disney
Then
is so
serve
pissed.
them to
The
your
director
villainous
flipped
visitors,
out to the actress
including
just to
Ursula
give her an
and Rastal.
earful of
With
flew
help
back.
from Yzma,
Yeah.
you can
Oh, she was so.
introduce
What she
to
been saying
produce
so
some
bad.
wildly
Oh,
weird
she literally killed the show. She literally killed the box office.
Oh, it's like what I saw. She's like, mate, I think I saw a clip of her. Like, oh my god, all the people queue up to go watch it just because I'm in it still. And then it shows her in the cinema watching it. She's the only one there.
Cursed cafe.
Honestly, I think Nintendo should sue her. Not Nintendo. I mean, Nintendo should sue her anyway, but
Yeah,
Disney
Disney.
should sue her.
Yeah.
Summon a
I would.
spellbinding adventure.
That movie was cursed from the start, though.
I mean, my daughter watched it and she absolutely loved it.
Welcome to
She didn't like the
College,
CGI
where students
dwarfs,
try to master the magic
but
art.
other than
No,
that, she
again,
said
that wasn't Disney's fault. A lot of people are blaming it on Disney. It's not. It was not Disney's fault at all.
Well, Disney approved it.
I mean, that-
Disney had no choice but to approve it.
There's also plenty to do.
But I don't,
What
really
is
don't want to
this?
go into that.
This looks like Paperboy in a weird
Yeah, I
way.
was gonna say it looks like Paperboy.
We need a new Paperboy, right?
To help pay for
We do.
tuition.
I'd buy it.
Or
I'll probably be
use
the only one, but
spells
I'll
you
buy it.
learned to craft and sell original items. Plus, up to
8K,
4
120
players can
FPS
make magic
Paperboy.
I
together
know,
in online
Gorsty.
co-op.
I know.
Explore this whimsical world on the road to graduation and beyond.
What? Bags, they really didn't have
Are you
any
ready for a
choice.
spellbinding journey? Enrollment begins.
Witchbrook,
when Witchbrook
okay.
flies onto Nintendo Switch
So far, this has
holiday.
been
I can see an
Okay.
audience for that.
Oh, I can see. It's just I'm talking for me personally.
Well, to be fair, Gorsty, Peter Dinklage is a very good small
He
person
is,
actor.
but the
Okay,
issue
this
is...
I
yeah.
mean, I don't think he's the best one out there, but he's up there. He's one of the better.
Artwork on this looks awesome. Almost like a Studio Ghibli game.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Actually, I don't even remember seeing this game, to be honest.
Find out when the Eternal Life of Goldman launches on Nintendo Switch this holiday.
Again, everything they've shown so far is this year.
Celebrate the 40th anniversary of Gradius with a collection of
Let's
arcade
go!
Oh my God!
games from
Let's
across
go!
the
Greatest
series.
is awesome.
Titles include
That's
This is
my
awesome.
jam. I love those games so much.
Light
SingStar was one of the first games to give me
Gradius
nightmares.
2,
I can tell you that.
Gradius 3, and Salamander 2.
Man, I'm getting some
Ooh,
serious
Salamander.
flashbacks of these.
Including ones from
Ooh.
different regions.
Although I'll be honest with you, right?
Even
None
the
of these,
different region versions. My God, that's awesome.
these don't hold the candle
new
on
entry?
Dude on Patch.
Oh, ooh,
Gradius Origins
Co-op?
launches on the Nintendo Switch system
That's cool.
August 7th. Pre-orders begin later
That's
today
new.
on Nintendo
Did you ever
eShop.
play,
later
um,
today.
Dude on
Battle
Patch.
to the beat in Rift of the Necro
No.
Dancer. Press the
I don't
correct
think so.
buttons in
It
each
was
lane
on the
to fight
PS2.
monsters in rhythm-based combat.
Then they had the Black Label Dude on Patch.
Boss battles,
Dojobu.
quirky minigames, remix stages, and
That's
global
ridiculous.
leaderboards.
That's the
This
hardest.
looks cool, by the way.
bullet hell
I don't
I've
know. I'm not
ever
good at
played.
river games, but I think this is cool.
Paid DLC. And be on the lookout for more DLC in
Why are
the
they
future.
bouncing though?
Rift of the Necro
Because the
Dancer
combat.
launches on Nintendo Switch.
I don't know, but
You do music to fight.
I know, but the way they're bouncing doesn't look right.
Let's see what's in store.
It looks wrong.
Welcome to Tamagotchi Plaza, a brand new entry in the Tamagotchi Connection series.
People have wanted this for ages as well,
There
so...
are stores.
Did the announcer seriously just mispronounce the name? He said Tamagotchi instead of Tamagotchi.
Or with a friend at the dentist. And
Oh, well.
arrange
That's funny.
flights At the afternoon
No, I
tea
don't think-
shop. 12 wonderful stores need your help.
So this is basically like WarioWare.
Provide good customer service.
No,
to
it's a
get high
shop
ratings
thing, I
and
think, more than
upgrade each
anything.
shop. In doing
Nothing
so,
like WarioWare.
you get to meet more
Do you remember when those little
Tamagotchis
Tamagotchis were actually the biggest craze ever?
Yeah, I remember that.
Everyone had one, man.
Yeah.
And then when your Tamagotchi died, it was like the end of the world.
When Tamagotchi Plaza launches on Nintendo Switch June 27th.
I might buy that. Yes! Pokemon!
Boo! Boo!
Yes!
I'm
Let's
just.
go.
I seriously hope they revamp the gyms to make Chikorita more plausible in the story of the game.
I mean,
just
Chikorita's not
never
even...
played Pokemon.
Is it playable?
She's one of the starters.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah.
I've just never been.
I saw T-Pig and went with that.
But
so-
she's also... that Pokemon is also not one of the better move-wise.
Look, all I'm gonna say is
there's
this.
hardly anything bad about, good
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. Bullet says there's no... Yeah, I don't think there's any gyms in here.
Boo!
Carrying out an urban redevelopment plan.
Yeah, I don't think there's gyms in this.
Here, we'll get a glimpse
As
into
Bullets
the
Kill
lives
says.
of the Pokemon and people of Lumio
See, there's no gyms. Just get it out of
Just
here.
one city.
scattered all
They
over
couldn't be
town.
bothered.
Well,
to
it
do
is like
anything.
Legends Arceus, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect there to be gyms in the traditional sense, but I mean,
Pokemon can live comfortably, even with
That's
There's
what
also
I'm
like a
talking about.
tournament will be here soon.
I could see about that.
Pokemon here.
I'm looking forward to that the cross play one for the
But you
phone.
might be
Yeah.
hostile.
What is it? Pokemon Champions, I think it was.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Pokemon
Can I hear
no,
what?
can
outside
you hear?
Wild Zones too.
Sorry, I can't hear that.
Some of them can even be found
I will say the only cool thing that I've seen about this so far is the whole battle mechanics where you actually run around, but I don't see it working out too well.
But when
And the
What
fact
do you
that it's
mean
all
bad
in one
chaos?
city is
the city's aura transforms.
What do you mean
it's a
back
little
out?
disappointing
now that-
considering that X and Y when it came out, or not X and Y,
The
what was it, X and Y?
City Royale. Trainers
Let's see
away
about this.
in battle zones.
No, Bullets, you should be praising me. I'm saving you money.
If you're spotted, they'll challenge you to battle.
Okay, that's stupid. They're bringing back the whole trainer sees you on sight fight thing.
Yeah, but you can
Oh.
sneak and attack them.
The sneak attack is new. Okay, okay.
I find that so dirty, though. I don't like it. I know it's cool, but I
Yeah, I don't like it for a Pokemon game either.
Power up even more.
feels weird. Like, aha, you're.
But I
I'm
am
just
liking
chilling,
the
have a
fact
coffee.
that this is
Quick,
the first
Pikachu!
time that they're bringing back Mega Evolutions, which is awesome.
Yeah. Also, there's 26 ranks to go through because it goes from
Jesus
Z to
effing
A.
Christ.
You'll buy 2 copies.
Oh no.
You know what, Grey Wolf? You're absolutely right.
Day and night.
By the way,
Two
no
sides
new
to
megas here.
Lumio City.
Spoilers.
It seems there are even more secrets waiting to be uncovered.
I'm gonna guess that the
God.
Megas are like the really big Pokemon.
Pokemon Legends.
Yeah, they evolved
CF
the Pokemon into like
launches on
special
Nintendo
forms,
Switch
Yeah.
Later this year.
but the forms are temporary.
Yeah.
In Lumio City,
Yeah.
where the game is set, the aura transforms between day and night.
There was only like
More secrets
what,
to uncover.
18 Mega Evolutions originally?
Information in the future.
And 2 of them were Charizard, and 2 of them were Mewtwo.
Take a look at this.
True.
Oh, what are they showing now?
Hello there.
What's this?
Hello.
Hello there.
The game you're about to see boop, doesn't have a big, epic story,
I'm out.
but what it does have is lots of funny little rhythm games.
I'm still out.
You wanna see?
Nope.
Sure.
Just press the button to jump through the ring.
Well, that's half
Press
the
the button,
journalists out
Chaos.
the window. That's half the journalists. Done.
Oh no!
It sounds
Journalist
easy.
mode. See, look, they recorded a journalist right here.
Timing is super tricky.
This is made hard because you can't see the actual position you're supposed to jump on because of the angle you're running in.
Yeah, the angle is bad.
Yeah, it doesn't. It
Looks
doesn't
like
give you
Chili
true
in the
depth.
game.
Oh, you're doing it to the rhythm.
In this
Wait,
game,
they're
you
going
must
through the
follow
Japanese
the
alphabet?
but you'll need to do it
Oh. A-E-I-O-U.
Yeah.
Why?
You might even be able to play it with your eyes closed.
Why?
Daredevil mode activated.
Is that all they say? A-E-I-O-U.
Get into the rhythm with a brand new entry in the Rhythm Heaven series. Rhythm Heaven
Yeah,
Groove.
that's all they say. A-E-I-O-U.
2026.
Heaven Groove.
That's a
I
game
hope
for
that's
next year.
only for the actual demo and it's
No,
not that way
all
throughout
of them.
the out.
Lots of music.
No,
Like I said, I
all-
hope
it's
it's
just-
only throughout this demo trailer, not the actual game itself.
I hope
It's,
not. I hope it's just
throughout
that.
the whole game, and you're gonna like it.
We
That's
hope
how it
you're looking
works.
forward to it. Next, we have news.
And
about
it's the only game that's
Looks like
it's so
Chili in a
advanced it has to
game.
come out next year
Please take a look.
because it's 2026. It's the only game so far that's so advanced that it needs a year to cook.
With
So I can
Game
add another
Pass,
letter.
Oh,
you can
what's
play
this?
games
Okay, this is
featuring
what pissed a lot of
Mario in
people
this
off.
Nintendo Switch system, and a Legend of Zelda game in this one.
Okay.
Freely inserting the games you have on hand into any system you want.
Okay, you can do that anyway.
But what if digital games could be as flexible and convenient as game cards?
Oh, I heard something about this a little while ago.
Introducing the Virtual Game Card. In the future, virtual game cards can be used for digital games.
Okay. So, what is it?
Just watch.
When purchasing the digital version of the
Yeah,
game,
we'll talk about it afterwards.
it will be loaded onto your system as a virtual game card,
Right.
allowing you to play that title.
So basically, a digital purchase.
Mm-hmm.
Digital games will be lined up as virtual game cards on a dedicated management screen. Here, you can load and eject your virtual game cards and manage which games you can play on your system.
Wait, why would I eject it? Why is it? It's a digital game.
Because you can only have one digital game loaded at a time. But here's the kicker.
Nintendo Switch systems,
No,
you can eject
that's
a
not it.
virtual
That's
game
not it at
card
all,
from
pal.
one and load it onto the second.
This is part of it, though.
Now you can play this game on the second system wherever and whenever you want. Just
Wait.
as a
Let me just pause that there for a second. Can you not have two Switches with the same profile?
No.
Not exactly, no.
So your library isn't connected to your actual account. It's connected to the Switch.
It is, but not in the same way.
No, well, it says you can. You can have multiple switches with the same.
Yeah,
same
because basically I have my Switch down here, the wife's Switch, and my son
so
has his upstairs.
Why would I
and
do this?
Our profile is loaded up there.
No. What I'm saying is, why would I do this? If I've got two Switches,
Yeah.
why would I do this? I mean, I've got them both logged in with my account.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say something? This is mainly if you've got just say you've got a Switch.
Yeah.
And your son has a Switch, but your son has his own account because he has his Switch. With this, you can eject the game from yours and share it to his account, so he can then continue playing it on his account.
It's a family plan.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, but keep watching.
Or
it's not that bad.
Or he could just log in with my details and have everything I've got, like it does with his Xbox and everything else.
I mean, you could, but this is for people that want their own account. Anyway, it's not finished yet.
Inserted a physical game card. With virtual game cards, you can freely load and arrange which games you play on up to 2 systems.
Or I could just have them
Local
both.
communication with your second system is required, but only the first time.
Okay.
You can also lend out virtual game cards to your Nintendo account family group members. Connect to your family group member system via local wireless when you want to lend a game. Choose the title you're lending and who you're lending it to. And you're done. They can now play on their own system. You can only
That is going to get abused so badly.
Well, here's the thing that I can think of. One, you can only link it to one other system. In this case, the family plan is the second system. But at the same time, when you unload it to load it onto the family plan system, you can no longer access it, which means you and that family member can't play it at the same time.
No, that's correct. But like, for example,
So things like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, you can't play together.
No, I get that. But what I'm saying is, like, I could add Chili to my family plan.
No, because I have to physically be with you.
No, you don't. That's the point. You don't.
No, I do.
You do because you have to make a one-time connection.
Let me finish.
I have to connect to you
Let
via
me finish. How do you think the original Xbox was able to play online? The original OG Xbox was able to play online with other Xboxes when the Xbox itself didn't have that capability. People created private networks that basically made it so it simulated you linking Xboxes together through FTP. Do you genuinely believe that they're not going to do that for this? And at the end of the day,
but I'm talking about how it would originally work.
I get that.
People will use a way.
They're going to abuse this to hell.
Local.
The only thing that I'm guessing is going to be a risk is if you trade it to them and you can't get your game back, so you have to go to someone you trust.
That's where Nintendo's fixed that problem, because after 14 days, the game goes back to your account.
Really?
To a particular person.
Yeah.
games
So
can be
Nintendo
left out for
fixed that
2
already.
weeks, after which they will
So
automatically
basically,
return to you.
what you're saying is people are going to create an FTP network where you're going to be able to add random people to your thing. You're going to trade them the game. And even if they decide to run off with that game, I'm okay because after
Yeah.
14 days, that shit's coming back to
Yep.
me.
Yep.
I guess Nintendo don't like money. This is a cool idea in principle, but this is going to get hacked the living crap out of. People are going to abuse this like crazy. You're going to be seeing Discord set up just for this sort of shit.
Now, the only other thing that would make this cool is if you are the original account holder of the game, and say you log in on Nintendo's website or whatever virtual machines you're linked to, and you don't have to physically be there, is that you can manually pull the game back, even if the 14-day limit wasn't there. Like, say, you have a girlfriend who, just randomly decides to leave you after 5 days of doing something like this, that you can say, okay, I don't want you to play that game no more. Be gone out of my life. I don't want to have to worry about you. I mean, that's the only other option.
From the plan, if you remove
That
them from
too.
the plan, it'll probably do it anyway. So
Yeah. I'm hoping that too.
But yeah, guys,
that's
I know
very
you have to-
specific, though, Power Boss. Are you planning to?
I know you have to be local, but there are ways you can simulate being local while you're, hundreds of miles away from each other. There are different ways where you can simulate that, and the system can't tell the difference. That's how we were doing the original Xbox back in the day and playing Halo 4-player multiplayer. That's how we were doing it back in the day. So there are definitely ways around this, and unless there's some way Nintendo can make an actual check, but if the system believes that you are in close proximity, then that's going to be really, really. I don't get it. I mean, I think the idea is good. It allows you to, borrow digital games. So that concept of it, I think, is really cool. I buy digital like 99% of my games. So being able to borrow my digital games out to other people, like friends of mine that don't have the games, is a really cool idea. But the way they've designed this, it's begging to be completely abused.
But now you can only have so many, I'm assuming, on your actual family share plan. In this case,
8
it's showing
people.
1 primary and 3.
8 people's a lot.
So,
You can have 8.
okay,
have 8
that's 8
people.
people. But then you also have only 1 physical Switch that you can connect to, and no more.
Well, no, they show that you can connect to multiple there.
No, this is the family part. You can only physically link to 1.
No, but you can send your games to all 3, but just different games.
Yeah.
One
If
game
it's a
can go-
family plan.
Yeah.
If it's a family
Yeah.
plan, yes. But not if it's a physically connected one. Like close proximity ones. You can only do 1 system at a time.
Yeah,
with a
but
second
most
Switch.
people aren't going to do that. They're going
Yeah.
to create a family plan, and then
Probably,
add
And
people
the
to
family
family.
plan is cheap.
I mean,
is
8,
expensive
yeah.
as well.
Oh, is there a price
So,
to this? Is there
if
a
you-
cost to this?
Probably.
Family plans existed for years. It's like a bundled Nintendo.
In
Online
order to
thing,
use
right?
this, it's probably going to be like Pokemon Home, where you have to pay a subscription fee to keep it active.
Well, no, it just works like it's just a Nintendo Online family membership, which it already has been existed
Right.
for years,
Yeah, so you have to pay for the family membership plan.
How much
which
is that?
gives you NSO on all your different
I
all your different
Don't know how
Switches.
much.
Oh, I mean, I pay £20
Uh,
for a year for Nintendo's online that I never use at all. Not even
I think
once
I
a
did
year.
the same thing because I started with
Yeah.
Scarlet and Violet
I mean, it's so
$10
cheap.
because I was
uh,
trying to
I
link
just let it
my
roll over.
Pokemon Home.
You have a chance that I might use it one day.
It's like it's about what is
There
it,
it
about
is.
$40?
See right there. Killcat knows exactly what I'm talking about. Excellent Kai was what it was. My dude knows the ways.
Yeah, I know. I used it too.
Okay, it's $35 a year or $59 with the expansion pack.
How many?
$59 with the expansion pack and $35 without
So
it.
what do I get for $19.99.
No,
That's
I'm talking
just
about
the
the family
Nintendo
one.
Online.
Right.
Yeah,
That's just the Nintendo Online. The family plan thing is different than what this is.
Yeah.
It's different than that.
yeah.
I mean,
But
at
the
least
family
for
plan does give
families-
you Nintendo Online.
So for $30
Right.
more, you're getting the family plan version of the Nintendo
Well, no,
Switch Online.
$15 more.
Yeah. But that gives you 8 accounts that
Well,
have NSO.
that's only for 1 month at a time. The 59 is for the year.
No, that's for a year.
Was it for a year? For 35?
Yeah, $35 for a year. And it allows you to share with 8 other Switches.
Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, if you're inside your household and you're actually
suppose that's
using this
alright.
the way it's intended, I think this is actually a really good thing. You buy the game once,
And then if you want it with the expansion pack, you know, with the extra stuff,
the extra
that's
ROMs and
$60.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But,
$60.
I think this isn't a bad idea. I think this is actually, considering most
What comes with
households
the
have,
expansion pack?
it's like the N64
Well, that's the-
games and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
saying 64 stuff, yeah.
You know, it basically gives you a wider selection of ROMs that they are charging you for again to give you access to. But you know, I think this isn't a bad idea. I think if you remember back during the Xbox One launch, Microsoft were
This is
looking to
basically- yeah.
do something exactly like this with the family sharing, where you could have 8. I think it was 8 people on the service, where you could share your digital library with them and let them play it across that digital library. And Microsoft were even going to allow you to sell your digital license back. That was all planned within the Xbox One before everyone went mental with the DRM and they took all of that good stuff away and went back to the archaic ways of thing. But they've basically taken that idea and just ran with it and created a system where, I mean, you know, when you think about the households in, at least in Japan anyway, you know, they've got like, what, 45 Switches per household? Minimum?
So why exactly was everybody pissed at this, Chili?
I don't get it. I mean, I can
Because
see
a lot
how
of people are doing game sharing a different way, and they're worried that with this update, that the way that they've been doing game sharing might be, you know,
Chili, I can share my game with you. I've always got the
Okay.
physical to share. I don't get what people are
I'm
crying
just
about.
attacking. I'm just scratching the screen. No. But a lot of people complain, and also not just that, but people were just confused about the wording. So
Okay, well, let's continue.
This is actually a good thing, I think. This is a really cool thing.
yeah, I think it's really cool.
Especially if you use it the intended way within your household and within the
Yeah.
family, it's really cool. It's going to get abused, definitely, but
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
Making digital games even easier to use. Virtual Game Card.
The virtual game card
I think that's
feature
kinda cool.
lets you swap games between Nintendo Switch systems.
See, this part here I
to
didn't get
Nintendo Switch 2 systems.
Yeah.
because I
Well,
could
it's
just
because
load-
it-
This feature is planned to be added via a system
Yeah.
update.
What
in late
What do you mean?
April.
Why don't you get it?
Let's take a
Well,
It
look.
did
then I-
say it's also compatible with the Nintendo Switch 2.
Yes. This will be will be.
I
built
have a
into the
feeling
Switch 2.
that it's not going to play the actual Switch cartridges. The only way you could do it is
No.
through that virtual share program.
that would actually make more sense. But then again, even then, like for digital games,
Yeah.
I shouldn't need to do that because it's on my account. So if I've got a Switch 2 and I've logged in with my account, and I've got a Switch 1
Yeah,
and it's logged in with my
you
account,
won't be switching it. Yeah.
I shouldn't need to switch it. But that insinuates that I will need to switch. That's
I
the
just
part
have a
don't get.
I just have a feeling it's primarily for Switch 1 cartridges to work on the Switch 2 because it won't have a physical Switch
Wow.
1 reader for cartridges.
But it's going to turn your physicals into digital cartridges
Virtual
as well,
cards.
right? Yeah.
But then what happens when you put the physical card back into your Switch 1? Is it going to delist off of the Switch 2?
By
No,
the
but I'm
way,
gonna-
Because then people can
Also,
abuse it and play both of them at the same
can
time.
I will add something from the Nintendo website as well. That this is the thing that's annoyed, confused a lot of people. Do you mind pausing for a second? Sorry.
This is the game that's not coming to Xbox.
Yeah. on Nintendo's website, if you look at the, I'm gonna have to make sure because I just saw it. Stay here, don't care. If you read the bottom text, where is it? Compatible systems must be linked to a Nintendo account that uses virtual game cards. Nintendo 2 Switch exclusive games and Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games can only be loaded on a Nintendo Switch 2.
Well, yeah, that makes sense then.
Yeah. Now, it doesn't mention Switch 1 there.
Yeah,
So,
the Switch 1's going to be backwards compatible, but Switch 2,
Yeah.
you know, you're not. It'd be pointless putting a Switch 2 game on a Switch 1, right? It's not going to run anyway.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
The machine's too weak.
Yeah, I
So
don't
that-
see the confusion in that wording.
No, that one actually makes sense.
Okay.
E-Ranks, that wasn't me who said it. That was Chili.
Look, as long as it wasn't me, Nintendo, you got nothing to. Friend, these were the guys talking about excellent Kai and stuff like that. Nintendo, I'm clean.
No,
I'm gonna use it the way it's intended, just not use it at all.
yeah, I don't even have family. I can't even share it with anyone. I don't know people. So I have no way to do it either way.
Don't worry, Chili. I'm gonna come down your neck of woods, just so I can pair up my Switch with yours. It's only a one-time thing.
Yay.
But yeah, Saga Frontier. This one, I swear, this was a PlayStation game. I remember having.
Yeah, I was
this
gonna say,
on
please don't
PlayStation.
use the word cartridge because cartridge is not the right wording.
It's a card.
Yeah, bullets. It's SD card, but cartridge implies physical game cards, not like that download.
What do you mean, Brick? What work on the Steam Deck?
Does your Steam work on the Steam Deck? You're right. Steam does work on a Steam Deck.
What? What works on a Steam Deck? I'm confused.
I think he's talking illegal stuff.
We don't do illegal stuff here. Nintendo's watching. Nintendo's listening. We do not do illegal stuff. It probably does work
I
on
don't
the
know
Steam
anyone
Deck.
of them, so I can't.
What do you mean, Bullets? How am I getting what information wrong?
Fates and legacies will intertwine across generations in this epic RPG. Experience the original story, along with brand new events.
This
that
looks like the
expand
same graphics
vibrant
from
world of
Tactics, right?
Sunnydale. Plus,
Yeah,
It's very
kind of.
Tactics-y.
more characters in battle. And transfer stats to allies through the parameter
Oh
inheritance
god,
system.
there's like a million characters in this one as well.
After finishing the main story, you can test your mettle and might against even more powerful bosses. What histories will you uncover through the ages? Saga Frontier 2 Remastered launches on Nintendo Switch later today.
Later today. Oh damn.
Monumental adventures await. Embark on peaceful journeys across this series of beautiful puzzle games.
So far, I've only seen one
Wandered
PlayStation game.
through isometric worlds filled with stunning landscapes to manipulate, optical illusions to
I feel
discover,
like I've
and
seen a
mystifying
game similar
secrets
to this
unfold.
before somewhere.
In Monument
Was
Valley,
this also a
read the
PlayStation game,
silent
Monument
voice
Valley?
of
Terraria.
Saga in her quest for forgiveness, while outsmarting
I think we've
the
seen
enigmatic
this before.
Crow.
Monument Valley 1 and 2.
A different journey awaits
Probably.
in Monument Valley 2.
I could swear we saw
Guide
this
Crow in her adventure
on
through
another
motherhood
platform.
as
Was this
she
also a
and her
PlayStation
child
game?
unlock the secrets of the
No.
sacred geometry. Both games
Hang on, I'm gonna look this up.
additional chapters, add-ons, and DLC. The first two Monument Valley games launch on Nintendo Switch April 15th.
Is there a single game they've announced today
Pre-orders
that
begin
isn't coming in
later today
2025?
on Nintendo eShop. And help Noor on her journey to restore the world's light in Monument Valley 3, setting sail on Nintendo Switch.
It was on a Sony showcase. Is this
Yeah,
it?
the incredibly advanced rhythm game. It's not coming to
Hey,
2026.
PlayStation game number 2.
A brand new entry in the Everybody's Golf
Yep.
series is driving onto Nintendo
Everyone
Switch.
wanted play these. games, and they finally release it when it's going to Switch.
Time your button press just
Wasn't this also on Xbox?
Take your
No.
shot.
It's a PlayStation
Or
IP.
back spins, side spins,
I remember
and
this
now
because
your
I
special shots
actually had this on the PS1.
in the single player challenge mode.
It looked a lot different back then.
Tournaments and
The
face
game has
off
evolved.
against a range of rivals to
And the
become
characters have gotten a little
ultimate
younger.
golfer. In Wacky Golf, your shots could get pulled into holes, or
I'll be honest,
obstacles might
I
fall.
feel bad because I
It's
forgot it was a
golf that's
PlayStation
not
game.
quite par for the course. Up to
I actually
4
really
golfers
enjoyed this
can
back in the
hit
day,
fairway
and I can see
together
this doing
locally
really well on the
or
Switch.
in online play.
So Monument Valley was iOS, Android, Windows phones, and Windows itself.
And get ready to tee off.
For Monument
Everybody's
Valley.
Golf Hot Shots lands on Nintendo Switch this year.
Captain America?
Unite some of Marvel's greatest
This was the
superheroes
hypest
in
game,
the
one of the
fight
hypest games of
against
the
evil.
the reveal.
2 heroes from the roster of 15, including the likes of the spectacular Spider-Man and the ferocious
remember playing
Wolverine
this
to
years
take
ago.
on the challenge. From close quarters
Oh no, this is
combat
new.
to aerial aces,
I remember
you can
playing
mix and
something like
match
this.
a variety of heroes for
Yeah,
Yeah,
they-
they've
this
had
years
stuff
ago.
like this in the past.
possibilities.
Yeah.
And swap between your team of 2 at any time. Take advantage of your team's strengths.
This would be. This is
The
actually
swapping
quite
of a character is
Plus,
new.
up to 4 players can assemble for local or online.
But yeah,
fun.
there's a very similar X-Men game that is exactly this same style.
I mean, there's a lot of games with this style, like Shredders and Teenage
Yeah.
Mutant Hero Turtles.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This holiday.
Yeah.
But there's also a specific one for X-Men that's like this.
That was Marvel
Yeah.
Cosmic
I think you
I'm just
had
saying that
like
the- I'm just saying-
8 characters to choose
Battle
from.
as a tag team of different
Yeah.
superheroes. Next is
This one
our
has, I think,
last game
16?
announcement. Please take a look.
I'm a buckle. Tornadoes off on G Boston yesterday.
Man, those heads are big.
They're bringing back Mii's.
Look at that nose.
Oh, what the ever-loving hell? This is literally just me world. Tamagotchi life? Oh god.
Okay, the first 2026 game.
Did you want to talk?
A, this was before the Me. And no, this isn't the first 2026 game, this is the second.
That was just weird.
Was Tomodachi Life living the dream?
The Rhythm
First
game
new
was
entry in the
2026 as well.
series In over 10 years. In the trailer, we saw Mii characters living on an island out at sea. What kinds of interactions do you think they'll have? We hope you're looking forward to it. Thank you for watching today's Nintendo Direct.
Oh, is that it?
Our final announcement
Oh,
is
we've got one more.
something a little different that's not a game.
Okay.
Here's Mr. Miyamoto to introduce it.
He's finally becoming.
Shigeru Miyamoto. Thank you for watching today's Nintendo Direct.
He's retiring.
Since 2011, Nintendo Direct has delivered Nintendo news directly to you. And now, these presentations have grown into an event that many people watch. Thank you all very much. We'll continue to broadcast Nintendo Direct presentations, but we're also launching a new channel based on the concept of delivering information to you directly. This is a smart device app called Nintendo Today, which functions like a daily calendar. In the app, you can view different Nintendo events. We will also be delivering all sorts of content about Nintendo games and characters every day. After the Nintendo Direct for Nintendo Switch 2 on April 2nd, News about Nintendo Switch 2 will be delivered to you daily and directly through the Nintendo Today app as well. Nintendo Today will be available to download on smart devices.
So it's just like the Nintendo news stories that you get on your Switch now, but you can get it on your smartphone.
Yeah, it's just a newsfeed.
Yeah, it's literally all it is.
That's all I have to share.
And random postings of crap.
That's all for today's Nintendo Direct. Thank you for watching.
Honestly, my overall verdict of this is probably like a 4, and I'm being generous at this point. I really don't think I'm not a Pokemon fan. Gradius was alright. Metroid was good. The Cosmic Invasion was decent. I would have liked to see maybe Xenoblade Chronicles if that isn't even out already. I think it's out. The virtual card thing was cool, but I don't know. I feel a little. I think they were trying to one up Sony in bad showings. At least they had Metroid, so it's not as bad as Sony's showcases.
And don't forget about the Gradius Origins. With all the Gradius past games, too.
Yeah, but that's...
I agree with you with 4. Metroid, Gradius...
The problem with Gradius is going to be that they're going to charge full price
and
for
the
it.
virtual cards.
And they shouldn't be charging full price for that. That should be like $9.99 at best.
The only reason why I can justify a full price is because it's multiple games.
I don't care. They're too old. You're not even they're not even thinking. They are being emulated on your machine. There's zero effort gone into them. You could see that they're being emulated by the frames that they were running in. They've not even been touched up to at least run at 30 FPS. Some of them were running at like 10 FPS on those bosses. They are literally running through an emulator that's going to be on the cart. It should not be at the full price. Harmon, 10 out of 10. Oh, he's going to love this. He's going to give it 10 out of 10.
I would probably give it a 7.
A 7?
Yeah.
For what?
Gradius, Pokemon, Dragon Quest.
Okay, Dragon Quest is actually one good one there.
Sagas.
It's not my game. So far you've got Dragon Quest. Anything else?
But for me, it's better than what I was expecting, considering the fact that next week we've got a direct for the Switch 2.
A 2? I think it's better than a 2. I think a 4 is fair. I think this whole virtual card thing, game card, actually is going to be really cool. But
Harmon's already got his video up. Nintendo Switch Direct analysis.
But yeah, anything about
I want to go with a 6.5 to a 7.
6.5.
Yeah, 6.5 to a 7.
I think you should knock it down to a 6, and then maybe we.
Wait, he posted that yesterday. It didn't come out till today. What the hell?
He has.
Maybe it's just his predictions. Maybe it's just his predictions.
He has ways.
So yeah, I want to go with 6.5 to a 7.
6.5.
It's better than what I was expecting to be there. I was expecting.
Well, don't forget, the Gradius Salamander was also a new game in the franchise title. It didn't look any better than the other 4 games that were shown, but it is a new entry, I think. I'm pretty sure it's a new entry. Or maybe it was just never released in the US. That's possible.
All right. This is what I'm talking about.
Bye. Thank you for some good luck. I did some summons while we were doing the direct, and I pulled a shiny Lucario card.
Nice.
So
this is what I was talking about, right? Let's remove that. Let's add this. This is the game I was talking about. So this is the black label. the label black, as it's called. This game is sick. Go on, Chili. Do this. No, one life.
No, because I suck at those games anyway.
It's ridiculous.
I think I played the second hardest version of games like this. Not this one specifically, but one game that is very similar to this. I haven't played the one that has the hardest boss in all of gaming history that does this.
This Golden Wasp is rated as one of, I think it's the hardest one. Die for Cats.
Remember R-Type as well.
Yep. This is insane. This is insane. We should get MBG to try this out.
Man, you wouldn't get through the first level. You'd rage quit.
Radiant Silvergun and Ikaruga. I actually have Radiant Silvergun. That's crazy, right? Look at it. Look at it. It's slowing down because it literally can't fig. See, once you can do this without like dying, you've achieved peak gaming. You become a literal god at this point. No one can say anything to you. No one can dispute you. You become a true.
That person that beat that was it a Rock Band or a Guitar Hero song that said nobody could ever beat, and he did it.
Look at that, 17,136 combo. That's mental.
Don't show it to GTA, Chili. What's up, Wood?
Mad respect for that. So with 4 total PlayStation games about to be on Nintendo for the first time ever, can we... Of course, Illuminati. We were having this discussion earlier on, and I said the moment they put games on other platforms, they became third party. It's that simple. You know, just like when Microsoft, you know, in 2016, when they put their games on Steam, that was it. They became third party because Steam was never in the Xbox ecosystem.
I will wait to see if Sony's even involved with them before I say anything.
Of course you are. You're going to look for any tiny little loophole like a true pony, and I expect nothing less.
Look, if someone has sold the game franchise off to a different company, therefore they don't own it anymore. And if Namco is developing and publish it, therefore it's not a Sony IP anymore. You wouldn't call Crash Bandicoot a Sony IP.
Yeah, we stole your mascot.
I'm just saying, like...
Your mascot turned to you and said, "Please, Sony, don't let me go." And then they said...
You wouldn't call Spyro a Sony IP.
Yeah, you turned around to them and said the same thing. You ain't worth my time.
So, I will see with Powerpon and Everybody's Golf if it's anything to do with Sony. Then I'll agree.
Let's have a look.
If it says Sony Japan, if it says anything to do with Sony anywhere on it at all,
Papaton IP.
I don't think we know. I think the last person that owned it was Japan, Sony Japan, which doesn't exist anymore. I wouldn't be surprised if Sony just did a fire sale before they closed it.
The copyright for Papaton belongs to Rolito and Sony, so it is Sony. What was the other one? Everyone's Golf? Is that what it was called? Was it Everyone's Golf? Did I cut off again?
No, it's Hot Shot Golf.
Hot Shot Golf. Hot Shot.
Everybody's Golf was the European title. Hot Shot Golf was the Japanese title.
New game in the franchise releasing 2025, IP and game copyright owned by Sony, developed by Bandai Namco. So that's 2. What was the third game that was shown?
I think that was it, right?
So you got Papaton 2, so that's 2 games. Hot Shot Golf is the third one.
That's 3 games.
Someone said there
And
was
then you've
4.
got no. I think the people are counting Lego Horizon probably for the 4th one, right?
And make it simple. It just sounds better. Which one did you say?
Yeah, Lego Horizon.
No, there was another one.
No, there's no more.
There's one more
that's it.
going.
It's just
There's
those
one
3.
more going. I don't think it was shown here, but there's one more going. Freedom Wars, I think it is. That's going to Switch as well.
I thought Freedom Wars was originally on the Switch already. Or not the Switch, but DS. Freedom Wars Remastered.
Sony Interactive Entertainment owns the intellectual property for Freedom Wars.
Yeah, but the previous titles of it have already been on previous Nintendo products.
It's still means third
No, I
party.
don't think so. It's done by Dimps, published by Sony.
No, I'm looking
The
online.
remastered was.
Yeah, Sony owns the IP.
I'm looking at Wiki right now. Developer Dimps, owned by Sony though.
Yeah, so they own the IP. It doesn't matter who develops it. It's who owns the IP, and Sony owns the IP.
Yeah.
So that's 4
And
games.
it was on the PC as well.
So yeah, they're third party. Easy clap. Lego Horizon was robbed of Game of the Year. Oh, this is Sony testing the waters. Like I said at the beginning with everything, Sony is very methodical with what they do.
Oh, it's
They don't-
Sony Japan.
Yeah. It's still Sony!
I think.
What are you going to say? Sony Japan.
Oh my God.
Don't you
Wait.
dare.
Well, no, I'm just saying that means, you know what could also go to the Switch?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Siren. Okay, anyway, I'm good. Knack. Knack was a Sony Japan. That means we can finally get Knack 1 and 2 remastered for the Switch too. Finally.
I think Nintendo
True
would
gaming.
I think Nintendo would just say no. They will demand a Knack 3. Only when a Knack 3 is made. With the power of the
Sony will release
PS5
Knack
Pro.
1 and 2. And then once Knack 1 and 2 are out, then they will use that as a basis for Knack 3. They'll announce Knack 3 at the same time. They'll just release 1 and 2 first. Because, it's a remaster. It's Sony. They're like when have they, how many, they have only released at least 1 remaster. They need to.
Parappa the Rapper would do good on Switch, yeah, you're right. I've heard Atomfall, at least I think from Steve in chat, it runs really badly on Xbox. In fact, he's made the switch over to PC to play that. So take that as you will. But apparently it has bad frame
I
issues.
haven't seen or heard anything about it yet. I didn't even know it released. It's supposed to be today, right?
Yeah, there's just been no fanfare for it. It's just one of those, it looked cool.
I have a feeling it's going to be like a Stalker 2 situation.
My friend already has the platinum for it.
For what?
Atomfall.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it that short of a game?
I guess so, yeah.
All right, I guess I'll get my 1,000 points. So if I start the game now...
I don't know how long he did it, but he sent me...
what time can I get my platinum on my 1,000 points?
I mean, I could go check his account.
It says roughly 15 to 20 hours to beat.
But I can only get a 3-hour parking ticket. Sorry. That joke. You know what?
Doing side content, apparently you can easily do 40 plus hours in the game.
Yeah, I'm just going to enjoy Assassin's Creed. That game is too good. Yesterday, I was jumping for joy when I was playing with Yasuke.
It took him about a day, I'd say, I guess.
I don't see what people have against it. It plays really well. And I haven't encountered any bugs at all. Apart from the Stadia one. I guess that kind of is an account problem, and I guess there was no way of them really knowing that one. because Stadia doesn't exist. So if you actually have Stadia still linked to your Ubisoft account, you can't access the store in the game. You have to go and delink Stadia from your account. I mean, I can see how they could have figured out to catch that one. That one's fair. QA is not going to catch that. No, I've only just gained access to Yasuke. And I won't see any of that Infinite because I'm playing canon mode. So it just takes me through the story. You kind of have to go out of your way to see all of that. You have to make those choices to get to that point. So if you are making those choices to get to that point and then you become outraged by the fact that those things are there after you made the choices to get to that point, to see that scene, I think that's more of a, you
that's your
than anyone
problem.
else. That's you.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying directed at you. I'm just saying in general. That's just.
Apparently, there's one serious bug with using Molotov cocktails on 3 or more enemies on the Series X that literally causes the game to crash when throwing.
But nothing is
That
going
they
to
know
beat
about.
Fallout
They know
76.
about.
No, you don't. Infinite, you do not need to do that to get the platinum.
No, you don't need to. You don't need to do that to get the platinum.
No, it's all optional. All of that is optional. Which
Now that
I'm never against optional dating.
I really like the canon mode in there. It's really cool. It just.
I'm not playing canon mode because I like my choices.
I don't.
But
I just want.
I am playing with what you call it on now,
Guided.
immersive mode turned off because I want it to tell me exactly where everything is because I want.
Yeah,
markers.
so that actually blocks you from getting platinum or on your PlayStation.
Yeah.
That blocks you from getting.
That does, but I don't
understand
care.
why. Though.
I don't want.
I'm not a trophy hunter or a points hunter.
Yeah.
I just play the games, finish it, and then move on. I'd be lucky to finish it.
Yeah, same. I don't care.
I don't get to finish many games.
I've been on getting trophies since they launched roughly 2008, and I have 0 platinums.
I think I have 2 platinums. I want to do the 14 platinum at some point, but
and I have
I'm not
over
a good
4,000
crafter.
between PS3, 4, and 5 alone.
I've got Destiny platinum.
I've got like 2 platinums. I think one's Goat Simulator.
Jesus, Atelier Ubia has already got swimsuits out. They did not
Man,
waste
it's taking
any
this
time.
long.
They did not waste any time. I still need to try the demo out for that. I'm gonna buy it anyway. It's a shame it's not Play Anywhere. Microsoft really need to do better with that Play Anywhere stuff. I think there's not enough, in my opinion, of the higher rated games that are in the Play Anywhere catalog. I played the Walking
it's
Dead
all about
Telltale
Microsoft paying more money.
Then pay more money. If you're gonna start pushing that's a selling feature for your platform, then invest in it. Right? You're telling people that play, like in their last Dev Direct, they opened it up with Play Anywhere, and Phil Spencer came out saying we're really pushing this Play Anywhere, so invest in it. I don't see the problem.
So, in order for the platinum trophy, you have to collect all of the trophies. You can get the platinum in probably close to 2 playthroughs within 20 hours. Maybe
Good night,
30.
Paul. Ultimately, should I use the swimsuit?
30 hours and you can get the platinum trophy in Adam's Fall.
Do you know what? Maybe this weekend, if I've got... Oh, no. Saturday, I'm going to go and... I have to pick up the boxes. So I've got...
I'm in London Saturday. I'm excited.
Saturday's going to be nasty. So I've got... like we were rushed into this property, so I put half my stuff into storage, and then about a third of my stuff went to my in-laws. and they told us this we need to go and collect our stuff or they're gonna throw it out. So I'm like, thanks. So that's my Saturday. It's like, come on, don't be like that. Family, right? But yeah, so that's my Saturday. But maybe in the evening, I might sit down and play some Yumiya. If I'm not doing Assassin's Creed. But yeah, Microsoft just needs to do better with the Play Anywhere. They need to push that like a lot harder. Because that's a selling point. That gets me buying more games on their Xbox platform. Thorn bushes. Nah, you're right with that one, mate. By the way, don't forget, tomorrow night we're doing members game night. The actual stream will be open to all. So if you want to just drop in and hang out and check out what we're doing, even if you're not a member, that's fine. But if you're a member and want to take part, feel free to come by, hang out, and join the fun. We'll be playing some Dead by Daylight and some Fall Guys. Maybe Among Us if we have enough people. I know my son is going to do a 1v1 with Steve on Rocket League, so if you want to check that out, that should be exciting, watching Steve get his ass handed to him by a 10-year-old. So, all good. Sega have a live stream starting now? That's probably just Yakuza, right?
Oh, have you heard about the information that the PlayStation Store is starting to list games as PS Pro Enhanced when they're not actually PS Pro Enhanced?
I mean, PS Pro Enhanced literally could mean that they've got 1 pixel more
No.
than the base.
They've literally been putting that label on the games on the store, and they've flat out come out and said that they are not PS Pro Enhanced at all. MLB The Show was the first one that was announced that way, and then like 3 or 4 other games also came out that way.
Yeah, but MLB The Show didn't have it enhanced, did it?
No.
So
I'll be honest, that's probably less of an issue.
But it was listed on the store that way.
Oh, it was listed on the store that was Pro Enhanced.
Yeah. And they came out and said, no, it's not Pro Enhanced. And then 3 or 4 other games were also proven that they were on the store listed. It was on the store listed that way, but the games are not actually PS Pro Enhanced.
My guess is just Terry
I'd have to find the article.
The games up on the store and just click the button and put it up online and not
Saying
actually
that,
paid attention.
MLB seems to be screwed, right? Because on Xbox, it says, if you go to the website, it says that you're buying the Xbox One version. No, if you go onto the console or the website, I think you and me and Taz were looking at
Yeah, we're
this.
on the website.
Yeah, so the actual website says that if you buy the standard edition of MLB The Show, you get the Xbox One edition that doesn't exist. But if you buy the deluxe edition, you get the Series X enhanced optimized edition.
There's 2 more games. There's 2 more games that were announced that way. The Callisto Protocol and Silent Hill 2. Both were found without PS5 Pro Enhanced features, even though it's listed
Silent
that
Hill
way.
2 is not out yet.
Silent Hill 2
it was listed that way. Yeah, Silent Hill 2 is out.
And Silent Hill 2 did come out with PS5 Pro.
No, it came out with the Pro, but it had the list of PS5 Pro Enhanced, but it's not actually enhanced.
No, it was, because it had...
No, it's not. I'm looking at it right here.
No, it does.
I'm looking at it right
now. They had it. No, it does. It does indeed have it.
Because I remember watching.
I'm literally looking at the pictures of it. Yeah,
and
it literally has Pisser.
They disabled Pisser. They disabled Pisser to get it working properly. Because with Pisser, it wasn't actually working correctly. It was actually showing worse than the PS5 base.
Disabling it is everything that was quote unquote PS5 Pro Enhanced about it. They took it out, so there's nothing that's enhanced anymore.
Yeah, but then they've updated it with it back on.
Yeah.
It's back in.
Oh, it's back in, yeah?
It was disabled to fix the issue, and then they updated it. It's back. It's got it.
Oh, I didn't know they re-enabled it, but it still lists here as games that were advertised that are still
Well, it was
not
that- it did
PS5
have
Pro
it, though.
enhanced.
At launch, it had
No,
it.
at launch it had it, and then they removed it, and then they added it.
But MLB The Show is weird because even on the Xbox website, it tells you that you're getting the Xbox One edition for this. If you buy it standard, you're not getting the Series X enhanced version, S and X. But if you get the deluxe edition, it has the Series S and X enhanced edition. The weird part is that it's not even available on the Xbox One. So why are they telling you that you're getting an Xbox One version? So I think there's some problems with the actual thing.
There was an 8K PS5 game. So they could technically put it on the box.
One.
Yeah.
But the PS5 couldn't render 8K.
No, it was two 4K signals on top of each other, right?
No, it could
Or
render
something like
6K maximum.
No, I thought this was something. I thought they had something else.
That was something else. There was a singular 8K game that nobody had a TV to prove it, is what that was.
It was a blocky game. Like I think it was called The Tourist.
Yeah, it was The Tourist.
It was The Tourist.
That's the game.
Yeah. So that actually ran 8K, and Digital Foundry checked it out, and it was running 8K internally anyway. But on your TV, the PS5 literally can't out 8K.
Yeah,
the Pro
can
probably can.
output up to 6.
Yeah, it was 6K.
No, even the Pro can't because it's still CPU bottlenecked.
No, I think it can. It's the HDMI cable.
It's the HDMI cable.
specs that can.
Yeah, it's the HDMI specs.
Yeah, the HDMI. It's not the CPU. It's the HDMI. The HDMI wasn't available for 8. It didn't have a high bit rate. Nothing to do with CPU.
But if you pull up my screen right here, Chaos, what I'm sharing,
I don't see it.
I'm sharing it here.
Yeah, I see it. That's just underneath.
Gotcha. So it says some games initially listed as PS5 Pro Enhanced haven't received the promised upgrades, leading to a player disappointment and accusations of false advertising, with examples like the Callisto Protocol and Silent Hill 2. Down here at the bottom, examples of the issues. Callisto Protocol, a patch was released, but some players felt it didn't deliver on the promise of significant improvements. And Silent Hill 2 says some players reported that the PS5 Pro's upscaling technology caused issues with the game's visuals.
That doesn't matter. Like I said, all they need to do is increase the resolution by 1 pixel, and it's it is
or 1
PS5.
FPS.
Yeah, or 1 FPS. Anything. All they need to do is make it 1 tiny minuscule above the base console, and it's Pro Enhanced. And back in the PS4 Pro days, a lot of games did this. They would up the resolution by like 10 pixels, or they would up the frame rate by like 2 FPS, and it's Pro Enhanced. The label Pro Enhanced could literally go from as pointless and mindless as a 1px resolution increase all the way to actual benefits like you see in Stellar Blade.
Assassin's Creed.
Oh, Assassin's Creed.
Shadows.
Yeah, that got a big upgrade on PlayStation Pro. The lighting on there is really nice.
So even here on Sony's official website, PlayStation Lifestyle, Fortnite and Call of Duty Black Ops 6 are still listed that way, and there's nothing Pro Enhanced about them.
They run a higher frame rate.
No, they don't.
They run better. They do.
No, they don't.
They do run a higher frame rate. They run a higher frame rate than the Series X and the PS5. They do.
Fortnite has been updated for the PS5.
I'm talking about COD. Ago. I don't know about Fortnite. I don't play Fortnite, but COD definitely runs better on the Pro than it does on the PS5 and the Series X.
They increased the resolution, improved the frame ray tracing for the Pro version of Fortnite.
So it does. These are wrong. But like I said, it can be as minimum as 1 frame.
Well, yeah.
1 pixel.
Yeah, because this says PS5 Pro launch games mentioned at least 2 titles that have yet to be enhanced, and they aren't exactly small games. Both Fortnite and Call of Duty are still listed on the PS blog as having enhancements at launch. And at the time of this writing, neither of the 2 games have received Pro patches. This was November 14th.
Yeah, and then the Fortnite stuff dropped December 2nd. So It takes time. Like you've got to go through certification processes and bug fixing and.
Well, yeah,
Right.
obviously.
But yeah, so
Many thought the Black Ops Season 1 update would contain pro enhancements, but we haven't spotted anything in the patch notes yet. So this is old.
Yeah.
So, again, this is old, but this is from them officially.
Hogwarts Legacy game expansion has been cancelled.
Oh.
The expansion would have added new storylines to the original game and was going to release with a now cancelled definitive edition.
Wait, did you see that Tencent has now bought a load of Ubisoft properties?
Yeah, I'm guessing that's for mobile though, right? I don't think it's actually...
No, they bought the actual IPs.
But it's a subsidiary, but they only own 25% of it.
Yeah.
So that Tencent hasn't outright bought it, it's just a subsidiary.
Yeah.
See, even Crap is saying it, and I don't usually use Crap as a person because...
But he is a Sony lawyer.
DRM, this is very similar to what Xbox One was trying to do, which is what I said, right? But I believe it allowed up to 10 people to access the game, something similar to that. But yeah, what Nintendo are doing is basically what Microsoft was doing back with the Xbox One. I was right. And everyone cried DRM at the time for Xbox, and that's what killed Xbox, the DRM. But it's alright for Nintendo, right? Nintendo doing
well,
it.
To be fair, though, you say that, but things have changed in 10 years. People were very against digital when it came to Xbox. And now, I think it's swinging their way. They're not against physical, but there's more digital purchases now than physical versus when the Xbox... the Xbox fell into the same issue Dreamcast did, where it tried to do something too early.
Yeah. And I've always said this, and chat will agree with me, that Microsoft, they have really good ideas. They are really good at seeing the trends, but they just act too early. They act way before their time. And that's
they also get needless hate for it all too.
But that's the thing. That's why that's the problem. It's not needless hate. It's the fact that they're acting too early, Power Boss. That's what causes the hate, and they rush into things. Like what I mean by that is like, look at Sony and Nintendo. Each time, although you might dislike it, it's slow steps towards a goal. As you talked about with the PC stuff. It's only going to be multiplayer. Oh, it's only going to be single player after 2 years. It's only going to be single player after 6 months. Oh, look, suddenly they've dropped now. Like, they slowly build it up so that the audience and consumer base got more used to the idea. There'll be some people that didn't like it still, but the overall audience base is going to be slowly warmed up. Like, so slowly warmed up over time.
Basically.
Versus Microsoft, where it's just like, it's everywhere now. It's everywhere now. Or it's got DRM. How do you like that?
It's a bull in a China shop situation with Microsoft.
Yeah. So, and that's why Microsoft gets so much hate for it, because they don't take their time to build up to it. They just, and it's done now. And I feel like that's not really.
I can
that's
see
more
that.
of an American thing, more than anything. That's an American company ideal. Like that's what America's like for a lot of companies, and so not just Microsoft, but yeah.
No, I can agree with that. It's most American companies that are trendsetters.
Yeah.
They all get the heat that way.
But yeah, I mean, they just went in. They just went in too early, and I've said this for many a moon. You know, I might actually pick up this Xbox Cloud Mobile Backbone thing for no reason whatsoever, other than the fact that it looks really cool because it's the Master Chief colors. The more I see it, the more I want. Yeah, this is I need to stop looking at it. John, the reason why digital costs more at the time anyway is because of retail stores. It was designed that way to stop you from choosing digital over physical. Now, the problem is over time, people still chose digital over physical, and that decision to keep the games at a certain rate didn't actually get removed. And now companies are saying, well, they were okay paying for it before, they can pay for it again now, then, innit? And yeah, as the bullet says, there's a UK company called Game. They were the actual company that went and actually rallied against this, because what was supposed to happen with digital games is that they were supposed to be, I think, like £10 or £20 less than what the physical store prices were supposed to be. And Game basically went to the regulators and said that this would take them out of business. This would be bad for business. People wouldn't have a reason to come and buy physical stores. This is anti-competitive. This is them essentially eliminating their competition. And they basically, the regulators agreed, sadly. And what happened there was they went to the digital storefronts and said, you have to price your games at the same price as the physical stores. The problem is, though, Game has disappeared, and those prices that the regulators, that agreed it was anti-competitive, haven't actually been looked at again and have stayed. This is now why you're seeing Microsoft actually charge for certain games less. Like you're seeing 33. Oh, I forgot what the game was called now, but it's coming out.
33 Immortals.
No, the other one.
Oh,
Obscure?
Expedition 33.
Expedition 33. Yeah, that's coming out at $49.99. Hellblade 2 came out at $49.99. Yeah, you're starting to see the digital games now coming out slightly lower, but not everyone is jumping onto that bandwagon. But yes, there was a UK company called Game. They were the one that lobbied for the games to be sold at the same price because it would damage their shop business, which ultimately Sevid made sure that it died. That's where it came from. I mean, I haven't used physical cash probably in the last 5 years. That sounds crazy, but I've used my mobile phone.
I use it
pay
monthly.
For everything. I don't have any cash on me at all.
My hairdressers.
they accept card payments where I go. I mean, even like
mine do, but I've always paid
market,
cash. So
the local markets,
yeah,
they just take out their phone and they've got like the PayPal things out there.
My fish and chips place, they get sausage and chips from the fish and chips. They don't take take card. They only take cash.
Yeah, most like everywhere I go, even if
I
they
live in
don't
the
have
north,
like a card,
so we're always.
Even if they don't have like card machines, they have them like the PayPal thing on their phone where you can pay for it, touch and go, and you just do it that way because it's connected to the, either Barclays or Santander or something, and it's done it that way.
So I don't know if you've seen me posting about it lately everywhere, Chaos, but I did a Grok questionnaire. And it wasn't just me. I was having people that I was in a not live stream, but a voice channel with on Discord. And we were inputting very specific questions. And it was over the whole Asus handheld, Xbox branded handheld, and the next Xbox console. What Sony can and can't do, and what is the best and worst possible outcomes, and everything in between along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Of Sony trying to actually block PS games on Steam from being played on anything that has Xbox Game Pass also. Okay. Aside from what is currently out. Okay, and mind you, Detective Seeds has already mentioned that Sony, as of right now, has no plans to do anything about trying to block it. So take that with a grain of salt. Whether his sources are right, I'm not confirming or denying. I don't know. I don't know who his sources are. It's just what he put out there. I have his tweet somewhere. But if you look at what Sony can and can't do, there is information out there of legal actions, okay? And I have exactly the way I worded this in the questions. If you wanted me to pull it up, I can, but I can just summarize and read off it because it's like 12 screenshots of Grok posting because I did ask very pointed questions.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest takeaway is distribution control and IP control.
Yeah.
Okay. So, could Sony block this? In theory, yes. Okay. Because the way Grok explains it is without needing for Valve's approval, they can double down and update aggressively all Sony games that are ported to Steam with extra levels of DRM. However, they would have to specifically target Xbox hardware, OEMs, or specific manufacturers, which they can't do with the Asus ROG that's coming out, the handheld, because it's Asus, and that means you're blocking all Asus products.
Well, number one, the whole DRM thing wouldn't fly because Valve would have agreed a license to sell those games on Steam.
Valve doesn't need to.
Valve doesn't need to what?
The licensing agreement in place would not matter about the DRM. If it is listed as DRM already on Steam, they do not need approval from Valve to update the DRM in a patch.
But how would that DRM, let's just say that's right, but how would that DRM stop it working from on my Xbox PC? That's running Windows, running on a System 32, x86.
Because they can target the OEM. They can target the OEM.
It would be based on specific, like, as I said on Twitter, I told everyone this as well. If they could target it based on the hardware specifications of the machine by scanning the machine, but I also don't think Sony would do it because that's too much effort.
I agree.
Do you not believe?
But they can also get sued by Valve if it crosses a line, if the device is listed as a Steam-compatible hardware. That is the key. So Sony would have to be extremely careful with their wording.
Well, the bottom line
they would have
is,
to be extremely careful with
if Steam
how
is on
they
the
go about blocking.
Xbox and it is Valve is it's not being sideloaded. It is being fully approved by Valve to be on the Xbox. That would
Correct.
mean that the Xbox PC is a Valve-approved platform for Steam. Therefore,
Correct.
it can't be blocked.
Right.
Hey,
now,
Devin,
as far as
thank you very much for the 2 gifted members. No, because if it's working on Steam, if it's on Steam,
no,
and it's approved by Steam, it can't be blocked.
Well, here's the thing. As far as the digital registration DRM, specifically, the DRM in their games can be configured to directly detect specific hardware or operating signatures. Okay?
Yeah.
So it can look for specific identifiers that it can be blocked. Potentially.
So it's going to look for a specific APU, which is probably used in other machines anyway.
Right. Which then they would have to counteract the grounds as the IP owner. They can dictate how their software is used within the bounds of their licensing agreement if the EULA prohibits use on competing platforms. Okay, or unspecified hardware. And
But
this
I'm
could
running
argue
a
justify the
PC.
restriction.
But I'm using a PC. The Xbox is going to be a PC. So if you're saying it's a competing platform,
the handheld is not a competing platform.
No,
the handheld is a handheld, and the console is the console.
Why is anyone even referring to the Asus handheld? It's just an Asus handheld. It's just going to be
It's a handheld.
There's
It's
nothing
not a
Xbox
competing
about it.
platform. But it's not a no. Well, this question is pointed about all three of them.
I know, but what I'm saying is, I've just put a sticker onto my Xbox, onto my PC, an Xbox sticker. Now my PC is Xbox PC because I got a sticker on there. Let them try and block their games on that I've paid for legally on my new shiny PC. I've got a sticker on there calling it my Xbox PC. Dude, they would get sued out of the butthole.
Here's the feasibility. Here's the feasibility about it. Okay, it says, while technically possible but tricky, PC games are typically not locked to specific hardware brands, unlike console exclusivity, and such a move could frustrate PC players broadly, not just Xbox users. And that's where Valve would have a problem if it impacts their business. Okay, they don't have to market it. Xbox doesn't have to market it, but the fact that the feature is there, if word gets out, and let's face it, it's already out. But if it in fact does allow PlayStation games bought on Steam to be played on the Xbox, and not through a third-party website like GeForce Now, not through a third-party website like Boosteroid, but it is a Steam-approved official app on the Xbox storefront. Much like you have Netflix, much like you have YouTube, much like you have Twitch, directly on your console. If one of those is Steam and it is in a approved app position, and it launches, say, Steam Big Picture mode automatically, and that's how you run the Steam app on the console, then now, because it's a Steam-approved device, only the Xbox console next gen, the Prime or whatever they're going to call it, is the only thing that can block their distribution rights, because they can directly argue anti-competitive practices as far as that goes. Now, if it's the handheld, they can't do anything about it.
It's funny, Chaos. All of these words are exactly what I told you months ago, and we had a discussion about this ages ago, and we both agreed that Sony won't do it.
No,
we had this exact conversation.
It'd be stupid to do it, because this is literally free money to them,
Xbox
because it's literally buying the games, even if it's on the Xbox hardware through the Steam app.
I know, but
it is
you guys
still
are all
a 70% PlayStation profit and a 30% Steam profit. Xbox gets nothing.
Xbox will get something, but
Xbox will get money.
Xbox will get money, guaranteed.
I figure it would be like a Game Pass subscription rolled in, and
no, it's going to be 10%. They'll get 10%.
I'd say between 10 and 15.
Yeah, 10 and 15. Yeah, 10, 15. They're going to get that.
I mean,
as far as Valve is concerned,
that's neither here nor there.
Nothing. Getting something, getting 15% or 20% is better than getting 0%, and it opens up a new market for them. Secondly, the next Xbox, people still think it's going to be a traditional custom-built console. It's not. It's going to be a full-on PC that is running on a System 32 API that is essentially running Windows with an overlay that will basically be scripted to run like the UI that you have on your Xbox right now. That UI that they're building is going to be universal. That's going to be on the handheld devices, PCs, and whatever this PC, next Xbox PC is going to be. But underneath all of that, it's not going to be an Xbox anymore. It's just going to be a PC. Underneath it, it is just going to be your regular PC.
Right, because they're looking for a console, handheld, and PC seamless
what they want to do
transition
is they want to reduce the amount of development cost. They don't want to have to build for custom-built hardware. If they just have to build for a PC, then at the end of the day, whether it's for the Xbox,
it will be running Windows.
It's going to be running Windows.
It'll be running Windows.
I mean, the Series X runs on Windows.
Now, here's the legal action
Windows.
Here's the actual legal action repercussions. Okay, if Sony believes Microsoft is facilitating unauthorized use of their IPs, marketing the PlayStation games playing on their Xbox, that can be use of trademark misuse. Okay, it can also lead to unfair competition or breach of licensing terms because there's no official ports on the Xbox. Okay, and the grounds for this would be protecting their brand and market position against a competitor.
But Microsoft,
they would have to require the intent or harm as evidence.
Microsoft isn't a competitor anymore.
According to Sony, no. And neither is Microsoft because they're moving on to the publishing platform, putting games everywhere.
I mean, the fact that they're releasing their games on everywhere clearly tells you that they're no longer a thing. All they're doing is going to build... The only reason they're building a console, right? The only reason they have a hardware
coming out... the customers that they have on console already.
It's literally just so they can keep Game Pass going. They get roughly about
Yeah, Game
$5
Pass
billion
does-
right now on Game Pass. Maybe even 6 or 7 billion right now, right? That's what they're making right now on Game Pass alone.
Yeah.
They want that 5-6 billion. And if they, building a PC and putting it into, one of those NUC designed shells, that's basically what you see is what you get with no upgradable parts at all, is going to be cheaper for them, especially using an APU instead of an actual graphics card, than it is to build something completely custom with all this bullshit velocity architecture and all that crap. It's just going to be a PC, and that is going to be much cheaper for them to maintain, and it guarantees them their $5 to $7 billion. And the hope is that with that console, they will increase Game Pass subscriptions. That hardware, not console. Now, if that next Xbox doesn't sell, and this also makes more sense now that the OEMs are coming in, because the OEMs, all these OEM companies that are going to come building that next Xbox, that are going to build bigger and stronger versions of the Xbox PC, all of those aren't going to be able to play Steam as well? Of course they are. There's going to be,
So now here's the thing.
Crazy thing.
The biggest difference with this hybrid quote-unquote console that they're coming out with, the Xbox Prime, just for sake of brevity, that's what we're going to call it. The key factor is whether or not it is going to be an open or closed platform. That is going to be the determining factor. That's what we're hoping for. We don't know yet.
No, we know. We know for.
I mean, they don't want to create the fact that they're opening it up to every other store. That's the goal. They want to have the infinity gauntlet. They want their machine to be the home entertainment infinity gauntlet, where you can play your games on from any platform, from any launcher, on that one machine, in an easy way where you just go in, you boot it up, you've got your nice looking dashboard, you click on the game, and it boots. That's what they want to do. And if they can pull it off, happy days. Now, whether they're going to actually allow you to access Windows directly or not is a different matter. But underneath the UI, it is basically going to be Windows, your basic Windows like you have now. You know how you can boot your PC up into big picture mode? And you don't ever have to see Windows if you just want to use it as a big picture PC. That's essentially what Xbox is going to do. They're going to have instead of it booting into the Windows UI, it's going to boot into the Xbox UI. So you don't have to see any of that technical stuff. Everything in the background will be done. The Windows updates, everything. It will all be done for you. Because Microsoft doesn't want to create any more segregation. Because if they do, this whole, creating a new platform and whatever, it doesn't make sense. They want to reduce cost. And by just making it a PC, they are going to reduce costs exponentially. And doing that means that they're making more profit.
Also,
it's all
one other thing, that the games that are being blocked in those regions from Sony that can't create PSNs and stuff like that, it's not Sony doing them, because I talked with a couple that are in some of those blocked countries. It's actually the regions, because they have laws in place that say information and data collected can't leave the region. And
that's partially
Sony,
true, but it's not true.
And Sony isn't agreeing to those terms, which is why they're not being sold there.
Okay, so Sony can technically turn around and say, I don't need a PSN account. Those countries don't need a PSN account.
Right.
And then they complain. Like all the other countries that bought Helldivers 2 and were playing it perfectly fine.
There's now only 102 countries still restricted.
Right, but what I'm saying is, if the PSN requirement isn't there, they can play those games. It's the PSN requirement that's stopping them. So, yes, there might be state laws that are preventing Sony from actually releasing PSN in that country, but Sony is ultimately responsible by enforcing PSN. They are solely responsible. But that wouldn't be a problem on the Xbox, because at least in the regions that can play have PSN, I've got my PSN account. I will just log into PSN and continue playing. Sony won't block it. And if they try to block it, Valve is going to oppose it very staunchly. And then they're going to have problems where they're actually going to block innocent people with innocent people that have running motherboards that are from a similar family, or even just off the same serial chain of families with one number being different, because they banned the whole family, not the specific boards. They banned a family.
That is absolutely 100% true. They would have to be extremely careful of how they
would be opening themselves up to such a legal battle. It's not worth it.
Absolutely.
It's literally not worth it. And the moment Microsoft enter into the PC market as a hardware, that's it. They're no longer any threat to Sony. I don't know why Sony even still thinks Sony is a threat. I mean, Microsoft is a threat. They're not. Microsoft has made their bed. They've decided that they're going to go third party. They're going to put their games everywhere they want. They might not release everything day and date, but the majority of the stuff is going. I think, everyone is expecting at some point Halo and Gears to be announced as well. Starfield is next on the line. Gears and Halo will be following after it. Sony at this point should just think of the extra revenue. And from Sony's standpoint, they don't even have to develop extra. Microsoft has to actually go and pay money to develop for the PS5. Sony is just saying, do you know what? We don't even have to pay money, and these people are going to give us money for our games. They don't even have to pay for development cost. That's how simple it is for Sony. So for them to actually turn around, and at this point, considering they themselves have said, we do not see PC as a competitor, it's just a different market, they will see Xbox PCs exactly the same. Because if they decide to try and go petty and block it, there's always the chance that Microsoft will turn around and say, if you're doing this, we're just going to pull everything away. They might not, and they probably won't do that, being Microsoft, but there's always the chance that they can do that. And that is all the ABK stuff that's coming that's not live service, and all the ZeniMax Bethesda games, and any publisher that they buy after that. It's just not worth it. Not when you're talking about games landing a year later after they've already been on PlayStation. Sony will still have that USP, but if you want to play Spider-Man 3 day and date, you buy a PS5 or PS6 or whatever it comes out on. If you want to wait a year and a half to play it on your Xbox PC, that's fine. It's a PC at the end of the day. You're going to play at the same time as all the other PC folk. So they still have a USP, and that is playing the games before everyone else. So as far as Sony is concerned, it's not worth the effort or the time that they would invest in trying to block it.
Having to tiptoe around whether or not they're going to block it or not, or down the line block it or not, if they go the extreme route, okay, which, let's be fair, Sony is not above doing the extreme, okay, but the extreme would be them saying, okay, there's no way that we can physically block this from happening without, doing something drastic. We are now delisting all of our PlayStation games on Steam. Okay. So anybody who has it in their library,
they probably can't.
No, they can. But maybe some of them not right away, but they absolutely can.
They can delist them.
But at the same time, the customers who have already bought them and have them in their library, it does not get removed from their library, and they can still play it. And if they have this Steam-compatible hardware, whether it's Xbox, Asus, or whatever, if it is compatible to play a Steam device, then it can play on those devices, and Sony can't do anything about it, delisted or not.
Right.
Okay. Now, here's the thing, though. If they do that extreme route, the only thing that they can do is either publish on Epic still, or finally get off their collective asses and make their own PlayStation actual store launcher.
What would Epic gain them? They're not just getting the Steam. They're not just getting Steam onto the Xbox. You're going to have Steam, Origin, Epic, GOG. You're going to have the
potentially,
whole
yes. Potentially. But again, the only
what
thing that
you're
they can do
talking
is
about
have their own PlayStation launcher. Fine.
And then you can download that and install it. You're running Windows.
But they can then say, okay, DRM specifically blocks
but then
whatever
they would
we
have
want.
to target that
They can
family of
go
hardware.
back to reinforcing the PSN login.
Yeah, I can still log in with
nobody
my PSN.
and nobody can question. Nobody at that point can question them about it, and they say, okay, fine, you're just not playing our games on PC then anymore, and that'll be the end of it.
Yeah, they've got the right to remove their games from PC entirely, but they won't do that because they need the money.
Exactly, and that's what people aren't seeing.
So what are we arguing about here? The bottom line is they can't actually remove. They're not going to do it.
I'm not saying that they're going to remove from PC or they're going to plan on blocking anything in the future or immediately or whatever, because it is honestly a nightmarish headache for them to even try to do so. But in the process of what they're trying to do compared to what they are going to do are two completely opposite ends of the coin. And in order for them to even attempt it, they are risking a very tiptoe legal lawsuit from hell. Because if they violate Steam in this manner, and Steam decides to say, hey, this is breaking our TOS no matter how you look at it, and you either remove this requirement that you put in as quick as possible, or you're opening yourself up to legal action, it's not just going to be Steam that is going to be suing them in a class action. It's going to be Valve, it's going to be Epic, it's going to be Microsoft, and any other way like Linux and Proton that have access to playing PlayStation games on a PC device. And the class action lawsuit will be $1 to $3 billion per company per infraction. And that is being generous.
Again, you've just regurgitated what I said almost half an hour ago. The legal implications would make it pointless for them to go down this route, because all it takes is one fuck up and they have a mountain of things. That is exactly right, because they're not going to be able to target the specific hardware, because it's just going to be PC parts in there that are soldered onto the board. They're going to be hard soldered. They're not going to be changeable. They're not going to be, you're not going to be able to change your RAM. You're not going to be able to change your CPU. All of that shit is going to be soldered, just like an NUC PC. Those little shuttle PCs that you've got that are really tiny, have everything soldered in. Just think of it like that.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
exactly what it's going to be. And at the end of the day, trying to target one of those when those parts are used in everything, there's no specific configuration. They're not going to be using no, super mythical SSD that Sony keeps bragging on about. It's just going to be a regular bog standard RAM that they're going to be using. If it's DDR7 or 8 at the time, that's what they're going to be using. They're going to be using the same DDR RAM. It's going to be a same, Zen 5 or 6 or 7 CPU that they're going to be using. And the APU is just going to be something that AMD is going to be using in other machines anyway. So if they try to target any of those parts, they are essentially screwing over millions of people who are using any one of those parts. They can't target. Now, they can target the Series X because everything on the Series X has the logo, has the code name Xbox on it. Even the OS on there, even though it's running on Windows 10, when I got into the recovery menu, it has Xbox written at the very beginning. So they can search for that. But if Microsoft can't be that retarded to actually put Xbox branding everywhere, that would just be dumb. It's, they're going to have some Xbox branding in there, but not in the places where it actually matters, because it doesn't matter anymore. They're not really an Xbox. They're just a PC. Just branded with an Xbox sticker. But hey, if it plays my Game Pass, it's priced right, and it gives me good performance, and I'm getting my minimum 60 FPS, I'm happy. And
Yeah,
that's
it's
what
not
people
going to
want.
be. It's not going to be the same as the shared APUs that are in current gen consoles today.
No, it's not.
That is going to be the defining factor because once they get rid of the APU shared memory, everything is fair game, no holds barred. Like you said, it's going to be a PC hybrid console that is going to be standardized parts across the board. You might even be able to open up and mix and match parts and upgrade your
Well,
system
that's where
yourself.
the OEM machines come in. See,
No, you
Right.
will not be able to do
you're
that.
not going
I
to
can tell
open
you
it
that
up.
now.
You're not going to open it up. It's
You
going to
won't be able
be
to have
a
that
fixed
upgrade.
machine. That's where the OEM machines come in. So Xbox is going to have the base minimum
Well,
that you need.
I will add. You'll be able to upgrade the hard drive.
Well, yeah,
Well-
hard drive. I don't count the hard drive anymore. You could upgrade the
No,
hard
I'm
drive on
just
the PS2.
Yeah, I'm just saying that'll be
Yeah.
a feature that you'll be able to
Yeah,
upgrade. That's
but
it.
you're gonna have the Xbox PC. You're gonna have an Asus one, a Lenovo one. You're gonna have an MSI one. You're gonna have all of these, but all of them are going
A
to
Chaos
be
Prime one.
damn straight. All of them are going to be a reference that is higher than the Xbox one. In fact, I would go as far as saying that the lowest spec Xbox PC will be from Microsoft. They are going to sell you the minimum that works, that runs the games as well as it can at targeting 60. And that is going to be the base model. The
Now,
ones that come after that from all the other OEMs, they're going to be the ones that have higher, higher graded components, but they're still going to be soldered. They're not going
you want to hear
swap and change.
the craziest scummy thing that PlayStation can do? Say they don't delist their games off of Steam or Epic or wherever they have them listed as, but then they do decide to open up their own PC launcher that they can control everything.
Which
The
they won't.
scummiest thing that they can do is say, okay, everything that's on PC is staying currently. Anything new that's coming is going to go there, but if it's not on our PlayStation launcher, you're not going to be receiving updates, DLCs, expansions, free content.
That's
It's
okay.
only going to be through the PlayStation Store.
That's okay. I'll download the PlayStation launcher.
Yeah, that's Sony's not. Ubisoft done that for
Hurry up.
years.
But that would be the scummiest thing that they can try to do.
Not really. Ubisoft does that. Microsoft technically does that. EA technically does that.
A load of companies do that.
Already.
But again, you could just download the launcher and you're done.
Yeah. A load of them already.
You've circumvented it because it's a PC. That's it. They can't stop.
Ideally, yes.
Microsoft's putting that app onto their store for a download. It's only an MSI file.
By the way, Power Boss, to play some previous Ubisoft titles, you could launch it in Steam, but when you tried to play the game
You still have
itself,
to launch Ubisoft Connect.
you still have to opt to Ubisoft Connect. And that would be, exactly said, it's exactly what Sony would be doing.
Yeah.
No different.
I can see that.
So
I don't think they will. They're not going to do it because Sony can't be asked.
we've come full circle. They can't believe it.
Not just full circle, but months ago, because you said this before.
Yeah.
They can try and target
James
it, but
Corden-
even with things like de novo, there are always people that are going to reverse engineer and backpour and backdoor and find all the ins and outs to get rid of it, even if they try to do it.
And that's why when Jez Corden came around and saying, "Oh, GeForce Now found out the hard way," I don't understand why he said that, because GeForce Now is such a niche and specific platform. It's cloud-based, yes, but you don't have access to the cloud machine. What GeForce does is they actually pay a license to put those games onto their platform to be able to play it. It's why Boosteroid can play whatever the hell they like, because they don't need to pay a license. What Boosteroid is selling you is a virtual machine and saying you can remote into this virtual machine via the cloud and play your games. And so basically you're paying for a PC, a virtual machine PC that has Steam installed, and you can run whatever the hell you want on there. Hell, I've even been told people download torrents on there and play pirated games. Right? Because all you're actually getting, you're not getting the game specifically to play on there. You've bought the game yourself, so you've got the right to play the game, but you're
I've
paying
even
for a
seen
virtual machine.
Helldivers 2 on torrents. Think
Right.
about that. Helldivers 2 is on torrent sites, and you can play online, 100% compatible.
So all this talk about them, Jez Corden and Colt Eastwood saying that they're going to block it and they can block it. No, they can't. They can't, and they won't.
They can, but they won't, because it's too much of a headache. And if even slightest toe out of line,
but then that technically
it's
means
a lawsuit
that they
and a half.
technically. I mean, if they are going to run the risk of having a multi-billion-pound lawsuit on their hands at the slightest mistake,
it's not worth it to even try.
Then that basically goes down to the thing that they just can't do it.
Yep.
No company is that stupid.
And even if they don't, as long as Xbox doesn't explicitly market their Xbox branded handheld or the next Xbox console as being able to play your PlayStation games on it, specifically that wording, Xbox doesn't have to worry about a thing.
Hey, I pirate nothing. Except for being a pirate myself. That's cool. Damn straight. Whoever these criminals are. But, yeah, so, Jez and Colt Eastwood were 100% wrong in this. 100%. Without a shadow of doubt. And, John from Xbox Era and Tom Warren called them both out. And told them openly that they're wrong. And that they're not going to bother debating this with them anymore because...
Bottom line is, if Sony has grounds to protect their IPs using either DRM licensing or delisting, but if they try to directly block the game on an Xbox hardware, because it's running natively, they can't do it. And anything else, they're running such a fine line for a lawsuit, opening themselves up. So, yeah. And that's the biggest issue, is that they have to be extremely laser knife precise to even attempt to try. It can be done. It's not impossible. But they'd be stupid.
Technically, I can fly. It's not impossible. But...
Well, you could fly for about 3 seconds by jumping or jumping off a cliff.
Fly, I don't know. Have you seen that YouTube video, that guy that jumped into the pool and flew for 4 minutes before he landed?
There you go. I mean, if we go on the technicality of things, you can do a lot of things. But the reality is, you're not going to do that.
It's not flying.
I can,
it's
what I
following
can
the
do
style.
is I can stand up and stand up and walk away.
Yeah, they're engagement farming. That's what I said in my other thing anyway. That's what I said. They're just engagement farming, trying to troll like there's no tomorrow. It's sad that they're doing that. And, I mean, I've even seen PlayStation fanboys turning around saying that Sony won't do it. They don't see how they can do it. It just doesn't make sense for them to do it. Because at that point, Microsoft...
I've been seeing all sorts of PlayStation fanboys trying to use Steam's own terms of service.
Ah, that's the J-Dubs and the Puerto Rocks, right?
No. Believe it or not, generic Eric of all people.
Oh, well, why would you listen to him?
I don't see him.
I was going to say,
Alex
Puerto Rock
actually, other people posted this shit.
Regardless of his candor at times, he's actually not stupid.
No, he's not.
No.
And I have a public apology to make to him when I see him on April 4th.
I hope whatever's going on in his life is actually...
Yeah, I wished him well on his family emergency, whatever he posted about. But what I have to talk to him about has nothing to do with that. I just wish him well and hope everything's going okay.
Well, Ghost of Sucker Punch confirms that Ghost of Yotei is still landing in 2025. And they're still recruiting employment people to work for them on the project. Apparently it's going to land close to GTA 6. Well, it was nice knowing you, Yote.
DOA.
It was nice knowing you, buddy.
Aside from the fact that it's DOA, it's also still using UE4, the same as Ghost of Tsushima. I have a feeling that they're reusing assets is why. That's why it doesn't look anything better than what Ghost of Tsushima did. Now, don't get me wrong, Ghost of Tsushima is a very beautiful game. But everybody's talking about how this is some magical leaping graphics far and above suitable for the PS5 and the Pro, that it's going to look amazing. It's still using UE4, so I would hope so. But it's not anything better or worse than what Ghost of Tsushima, the prior game.
Okay, I have to show this. This is good. Where is it?
It would have to be Gaz that did it. Oh my god. Oh no. He's a straight Muppet in every sense of the word now.
Oh man. That's hilarious. That's priceless. That is priceless right there. Oh shit. Did you see the mental gymnastics that my dude was going through? Trying to say that Sony
Over
into the
which?
third-party hardware.
Oh yeah.
Mate, he was
I've
going
seen
through
that.
some 4D chess. It was crazy. But folks, I think our time for the stream today's up. Again, tomorrow I'm going to be streaming. Same time start today. I'm not going to be late. I wasn't late today. I'm going to be playing Dead by Daylight, maybe a bit of Rocket League, Fall Guys are the main 3 games that I'm looking at. So if you want to join and you're a member, feel free to turn up and we'll be playing that here on YouTube. If you aren't a member, you're free to join and watch and just hang out. I'm going to leave it open to everyone so we can still have a good time and talk about stuff. But that's going to be it for me. Let's start with...
If I show up, I'm going to try and look at the Atom Fall stuff so I can have some input on that for tomorrow if I'm around.
Cool, but Howard, let's start with you if you want to plug yourself
I am
in.
everywhere. If you see me on most Xbox streams, PC streams, Salt Miner streams, I am everywhere. And I don't discriminate. If you'll have me, I'm there. The only places that I don't go are very few. I'll put it that way. I'm not going to name names. But I will definitely talk about video games, platforms, as far back as the Atari, if you want to go that far. And I still hate you for that tweet, Chaos. You knew I wasn't talking to you, you bastard. But no, I enjoy my time wherever I go, and you know, I'm always willing to engage with people. I don't shy away from a conversation if you can have an actual intellectual conversation about why you think something, not just, oh, it's an Xbox logo, so Xbox bad, PlayStation better. No, that's not an argument. That's just your bias showing. That's literally asinine in every sense of the word. But yeah, that's me. I usually go on demo show Fridays, 11 to 1. And yeah, 11 to 1. And I mean, Alex's streams every Saturday night, and I even mod for most of the Salt Miners. So, you know, if you need to get around, get in touch with somebody or anything of the sort, I'm in Chaos Discord. Just go ahead and message me, and I'll see what I can do and tell you what's good or bad. But that's me. Chili, take it away.
Well, you can find me over on Holified Saying Gaming, where I post currently Bleach content. We are 164 subscribers. So we've actually gone up a lot recently, so big support. I actually did some boobs on the thumbnail for the recent short to see if it'd work, but it doesn't seem to work for me. No, don't. They get me less clicks. Not gonna lie. So, but anyway, I also can find me on twitch.tv/MoogleRun Radio where I do a podcast. So yeah, about 14. But yeah, if you want my anime stuff, go check out Holified Saying Gaming on YouTube. 164 subscribers. Again, big shout out to Chaos.
Yeah, we're getting there. Actually, gaming has actually hit 100. I think 200 now. 201 followers as well. I'm not sure if he's still here, but he hit 201 earlier as well when I retweeted his channel.
Nice,
awesome stuff.
Now I haven't announced it officially yet, but would you like to know who one of our special guests for Moogle Go Round next month is?
Go for it.
Before I even announce it for Moogle Go Round.
Serene.
Now, if you're a controller player, I don't know if you play 14 with a controller.
I do.
Oh, Chaos. Well, we're going to have someone on that's a very special controller-based person.
It's me,
He makes custom-based controllers for different types of games. We're going to have Super Lewis 64 on.
Oh, nice.
So, if anyone that doesn't know, he made like a Gunblade controller where you use like an actual Nerf gun. And he's recently made a Pictomancer controller where you use a paint sensor and you paint on the board. And as you paint on the board, it does the attacks in the game.
That's insane.
So,
it almost reminds me of the Final Fantasy X 2 guns that you could get on the PS2.
Yeah.
It also reminds me of the Wii version of Legend of Zelda.
You need to remind
Skyward
me.
Sword.
I'll turn up. I want to turn up.
Yeah, same.
So yeah, that'll be April 17th.
Sweet.
Okay. Who's excited for the Switch 2 reveal?
Me.
Yeah.
April 2nd.
It looks like I'll be checking it out on Wednesday over at Twitch. And if anyone wants to, I'll probably play it again on Thursday as well. If anyone's interested.
I'll.
He turned a net into an actual controller to play 14 with to do Island Sanctuary. He made boxing gloves to play Monk. He made a scholar book where he drew on it to do spells in 14. So, not just 14, by the way. He's also done a great sword to play Elden Ring. So
that's sick.
Yeah.
Well, with that done, I am going to call it a night, and I will see you. Well, the ones that are actually turning up to the member stream tomorrow. For the rest of you, I bid you good night, and if I'm available on the weekend, I'm going to be probably playing some more Assassin's Creed, because that game is awesome. Right, folks, peace out, and I'll see you later.
Remember to like and subscribe.
Boobs on the thumbnail, I like it.
Yeah, if anyone know, I put Rangiku on the front of the short thumbnail recently. If anyone knows what Rangiku looks like, you know what you get, what you're getting.
I'm still gonna go check it out. Peace out, folks. Like and subscribe.